be unmuted.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Pops and the Henry Brothers podcast. We are your host. This is Pap, my bigger brother.
What's up?
And this is my Pops.
What's going on, y'all?
The ancient one. And I am Trav. Man, let's make this happen, man.
Let's make it happen.
What's going on, y'all?
Hopefully all is well with everybody.
Did y'all miss us?
Pops didn't catch that. I said the ancient one.
I ain't gonna get bothered.
I always call it.
You know, I gotta
Guys, I'm not poking the bear. If you're poking around,
I always call him the forefather.
I let him talk. I'm used to it.
We got the forefather on the side over there.
Once you don't say anything, it'll go away,
Huh?
you know?
Oh, no, it's going.
So what's going on with you guys and girls?
Hopefully everybody's well. We got a lot to talk about, guys. We're definitely going to get into draft picks. We want to know how everybody feels about their team's draft picks. And, so on and so forth. See what we got going on.
See, have you been keeping up with what you've been doing with your teams,
Y'all in the chat, let us know y'all here, man. Say what's up to us, you know what I mean?
Chime off.
Make sure you hit like, subscribe, share the show, all that good stuff.
Make us know who you are. Let us know you're here.
And tell us how y'all felt about y'all draft, man. Like, put it in the comment section. Let us know how y'all feel, because we definitely finna break it down.
Run, I'm drinking my juice.
And right now, it's some...
Y'all know the routine, man. Y'all know what we do, man. We're just waiting on everybody to come in before we really start. So, let's get it.
Can y'all hear us just fine? I mean, how's the sounds? Everybody can hear us?
Yeah, y'all let us know how the mix is and everything. About to get some music started up.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about how the draft went, the draft picks, the draft situations with Shador, and we're going to talk about the 100 mans versus one ape. We're going to trace all of this.
I'll let y'all talk about that, man.
One gorilla, because a chimpanzee is technically an ape, so.
But they call it ape too. That's what people were saying.
What kind of ape you say they were messing with?
Silverback gorilla.
Silverback. Out of all the gorillas they want to pick a fight
with. The biggest
with,
one.
They want to pick a fight with King Kong.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But yet, running from a damn pit bull that's loose in the hood, but yet you want to fight King Kong. Make it make sense.
Who's going to be the first 10 to go at him while the rest of them still around?
Not me.
And what they fighting about?
They just want to see, can they take him?
Ain't that something?
I don't know who made this up, but it's ridiculous.
Only certain type of people pick a fight with a silverback.
Well, since we already talking about it, we might as well go right into it.
Might as well.
I mean,
I want to hear what the family got to say about that.
Do we really want to talk about this now?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I mean, we talking about it, so it's like
I'm curious to find out who on here will go after
Yeah.
a silverback. Actually, go hand to hand with him.
Since we already talking about it, guys, put down in the comment section.
gotta see
how do
it.
y'all feel that situation go? 100 mans versus one gorilla.
In the first 5 man.
And y'all tell me what y'all thinking. We gonna conversate about this and chop this up.
Oh, that
And I see we got Ron backstage. Ron, we see you. We see you when you
We're about
first
to get
came
you on
in.
just a second.
Once you come backstage, Ron, we can see you just like you see us. So as soon as you come, we see you.
As the movie say, Ron, what's your dream?
Wow.
I have a dream.
That was off the movie.
What's your dream, little foots? You got a dream? Yeah, I got a dream. Don't be a menace.
Don't be a menace inside you.
Marlon.
Yeah. He was talking to the little guy in the wheelchair with the little foot.
And he was dreaming of being a ballet.
Vargas,
and he was dreaming about being a ballet dancer.
Yeah, like dancing like a
Out of all the people.
hammer. And then doing ballet. He actually ended up doing ballet at the end. When they was throwing him around.
If I remember right.
Yeah, he ended up doing ballet.
That's silly, man. Yeah, Ron, what's your dream? What's up, Brandon?
Brandon, what's good, man? Rico's right. I think I said that.
Yeah, what's going on, Rico fam? What's going on? Hopefully all is well.
We gotta give a shout out to Tony too, man.
G Gonzalez was good.
Get everybody to pray for him, y'all.
Why you say that, Pops?
He's in the hospital. Have a hard time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got sick on us, man.
Who you talking about?
Had seizures and whatnot. Tony. Your cousin Tony Turner.
Oh, you didn't tell me
Yeah.
that.
Still, I told you the other night he was in the hospital.
No, you didn't. You might have thought you did.
No,
Guys, my
I told you.
device that I usually use for music has
Talking about Thomas.
didn't charge like I thought it would.
Huh?
Talking
So
about Thomas.
I told you Tony
We're
too.
getting,
That's why I went last night. Down to the
Yeah,
hospital.
you told me that.
That's the Steelers. I mean, that's the Eagles.
Well, we
fan.
pray that you get better, cuz.
We'll give him a shout out to him. He loved himself. Them Birds, them Eagles. They're a good team though.
Yeah, they are.
The champs. Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
Hats off to them.
How'd that feel coming out your mouth like vinegar?
It's okay. It's
You
okay.
ain't got no choice but to be.
No. You asked me how I feel.
okay. Ain't
got no
choice but to be.
Last year before they won, I told you I hope they win it, remember? You said, what is wrong with you, Dad? But I hope they win it. They did. We're going to keep it in our division, though, for a while.
You wasn't saying that while y'all still was alive.
No, not when we're alive, they ain't got no business saying. That'd be kind of crazy.
So everybody, let us know how the mix is with the music and the voices, please.
But it's all going to change.
Oh yeah, paying the tariffs. I heard that, Rico.
Oh, G Gonzalez is a Giants fan. He said,
I
"Go
think so.
Giants."
Yeah. They from New York. What's up? G, what's going on? Hopefully all is well.
So G, put down in the comment section how y'all feel about y'all taking Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Trading back into the first,
Yeah.
which I predicted, by the way.
Yeah,
I
we're
said,
Yeah, you did.
I said the Giants is going to trade back up into the end of the first
Yeah.
to take a quarterback.
Yeah,
Ron is backstage. Ask Ron. He'll tell
Yeah,
you.
that's my boy George, nicknamed G.
But Giants, y'all didn't choose the right quarterback.
Oh, I think they did. Jackson Dart is nice.
You see what he said?
Huh?
Mucho's grassy ass. He's stupid. He ain't got no sense,
Oh,
man.
you don't like Jackson Dart?
No, he did that for you.
I don't blame him because he probably know they should have got Sanders. He
Jackson,
knew.
he just-
Jackson
he
Dart.
still like that.
Jackson Dart might end up being the best of all.
No,
of them.
no.
Jackson
So
Dart-
Rico, that's a good question, Rico. How much we getting to fight the gorilla? First of all, you can't pay me any amount of
Pay
money
me enough.
to fight this gorilla. Let me tell you
How
something
you
about
gonna spend the
gorilla.
money when you dead?
First of all, these gorillas can be anywhere from 6
That's what I'm
foot,
saying.
6'2" to 6'6", 6 feet 6 inches tall. Listen, they have 1,000 to 1,500 pounds of grip/pull strength. Some close to 2,000 pounds.
What's up, Kevin?
And then on top of that, you got like 900 to 1,300 pounds per square inch bite force.
What's up, Kevin?
And these dudes are agile. Like it don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you saw my video I posted earlier, but I posted a video of two gorillas going at it inside a zoo, and they were sprawling takedowns, hopping over each other like like they was fighting MMA.
And
And
actually
these
humans
dudes
do
weigh these gorillas weigh like 400 or 500 pounds.
Yeah, and actually humans.
Nothing
talking
but
about-
muscle.
Talking about charging them and taking them down.
And here
bro.
go the thing, y'all.
So they can basically they can pop your skull, they can rip your limbs
They do
off.
anything they want to do to you.
They can pretty much do anything they want to do.
And you can't look them in the eyes.
or the worst thing won't be to happen in that situation. They can violate you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that- I'm
Like the one video of that dude.
They'll jump you for looking them in the eye. You have to have your eyes down when they look at you. And you gonna go and run and jump on them?
So that's gonna be hard to go back. If say you survive, but you got violated,
yeah,
you got to go back and tell everybody you got violated by King
Oh,
Kong.
and by the way, my boy's a Steelers fan too, Rico. Yeah, our draft was solid, man. I think it was, in my opinion. We feel got some depth, is what we got. Definitely got some depth, and we got a national champion quarterback. So, Natty.
Y'all might have that, but y'all
It's like
y'all waiting on everything.
Here's the thing about it. Before we get into it, we're gonna close out this gorilla conversation first. But I will say this: when Joe Burrow won the championship, everybody was giving
Wait
him
on
praise
that. Wait on that, bro.
because
Get to that a little bit.
this is a real quick mention because that him and Trevor was going back and forth. I remember that playoff game. It was actually one of the best national championship games in a long time. Just back and forth, back and forth. But what people fail to mention and remember is all the praise that Joe Burrow got. He had two of the best receivers that we got in the league right now, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, if I remember right. Justin Jefferson is highly regarded as the best for the last few years. And he had Jamar Chase.
Well, Jamar Chase was better last year.
Guys.
He was the best.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. So Joe Burrow.
Both of them was his guys.
So we could argue
Guys.
that without
wait till we
him.
get to that subject.
Okay, pops. But we could argue that without those two receivers and the running back that they had.
Let's go.
Yeah. Without the receivers that he had and the running back that he had, would we be having the same conversation about Joe Burrow? But yeah, now it's Will Howard, and it's all of a sudden, well, he was just in a good program. He had good receivers. Well, then that's my example with Joe Burrow. Don't take away from Joe Burrow's skill set.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's a good point, right?
True.
So Will Howard was solid, man.
We'll see what Will Howard does. I was going to ask you how you feel about him, but
Well, as you can tell,
Rico Wright says Will Howard is like Big Ben Jr. I don't know about that yet. Let's see what he does, but
he is like a big man. I mean, same size. He's like, or Josh Allen, same size, can
I was
run.
talking about the size.
Yeah. Like those are big shoes to fill there. But what I think what he means is like potential and like his size, like his bio. You know what I'm saying?
But Rico, I was gonna say also, do you feel like y'all should have took Will Howard over Shedeur Sanders? Put it in the comments section.
Yeah. I'll answer that first though. Like I wanted Shedeur Sanders if he was available, because I knew Ward wasn't gonna be available. And me, Travis, Dad, we've got like different opinions on certain aspects, but we all kind of agree that you got three quarterbacks that are pretty even, that could go either way. So me and Travis were like, we both thought that Will Ward was slightly edged out. Cam Howard. Cam Ward. Golly, Cam Ward slightly edged out Shedeur Sanders.
But I did.
I'm about to talk about Will Howard, so he's on my mind. And so, but it's like apples and oranges. It's like you should, on any given day, somebody might pick Shedeur over.
I think Dad wanted.
I did go with Sanders. I went with Sanders.
Let me finish this thought real quick.
But you were talking about what you and Travis picked. You gotta say, but Dad was he went the other way.
Okay, let me get this thought out while it's in my head. So the gap between the two, in my opinion, wasn't big. They were like neck and neck in a lot of things, right? So either one of them, if they were available, I would have took them. But to take Jackson Dart would have been just as well. But I didn't expect him to be available either, which he wasn't. So Will Howard is a good pick, and you got a national champion quarterback.
No, Jackson Dart was available, man.
Yeah, we passed on Jackson Dart. That's right.
Yeah,
no.
Picked at 21.
No. Giants picked number 3, bro.
Patrick, listen.
They picked Carter first. That's right. They picked Carter first, and then they picked Jackson Dart. That's right. That's right. So that's the only thing that I didn't like about the draft that I thought we could have done different is maybe.
Y'all was at 21. And
y'all
21.
Took
the defensive tackle.
and we took the defensive tackle.
Well, you should have took Shedeur.
Yeah, we took Derek Harmon first, but I'm still good with the Derek Harmon pick. I don't know how you feel about that, Rico, because in my opinion, Cam Hayward is at the end of his career. He's got maybe another year to 3 years.
Yeah, it's a good pick. But I feel like y'all should have went with a franchise quarterback first, which you don't have. Yeah. That was y'all biggest need.
Yeah, but my thing is they may have gotten to the point where they might have thought Mason played good, got us to the playoffs, had a really good game against the Bills. There was some bad calls in that game, so it could have went either way. And so they may want to let them just battle it out and compete. And again, you got a national champion as a quarterback. It's almost like you can't look at the pick and go, man, we made a bad pick by picking that quarterback. We got the national champion quarterback. So, anyway, just some stats to read over for Will Howard. 185th pick, round 6. Completions, he had 767 out of 1,202 completions total. 63.8% for his whole career, but 76.7% last year. 73% rather. 83 touchdowns. He had 35 interceptions total.
You said 83.
83, yeah, total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, career, yeah.
Not know what year.
And then last year he had 35 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. So that was a pretty good year. 195.9 yards per game average. Last year he had 250 yards per game. So his last year he really stepped up and did in my opinion, what a player is supposed to do, like progress and get better during a college career. QBR is 149 total. which is pretty good, just under 150 career. But he had 175.3 last season.
Oh, you're welcome, Brandon. Y'all can have that first round pick. 'Cause we got 2 first round picks back to back.
Yeah.
2 of the top 5 best pass rushers in this draft. So
Yeah.
I'm good with giving up that first round pick last year.
Yeah. And he could run too.
Hey.
Because the reason we did that, don't speak for me, Pops. Let me finish.
Yeah.
And the reason we did that, Brandon, is because if you can get 2 top 5 pass rushers this year back to back, why not do it? We all in.
Yeah.
So I'm good with it. So next year, and if we want that first round pick back, we can always do things,
Yeah.
trades, whatever, next year. So I'm
Yeah.
good with it.
And to close out, Will Howard, the guy could run too. He averaged 12 to 13 yards per carry when he carried the ball. So I'm good with the pick. Like I said, people have put up numbers. Him, Ward, Sanders, all their numbers were kind of close to each other. So it's not like it would be bad or better or worse to go either way. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with that pick. I like a first pick too in Derek Harmon. So I think it was a good pick personally because, like I said, Cam Howard's on the end of his career. Cam Hayward is at the back end of his career, is what I'm trying to say. And he seems to be getting injured a lot more his last couple of years. So I like what I saw from Harmon.
I mean,
So,
it was a good pick. I just
Yeah.
feel like y'all should have went franchise first, but y'all felt like y'all got y'all franchise later, Will Howard, and that's respectful.
Yep.
And I can't really
Now,
argue with that.
I did owe Pops. He went a little bit of a different way from what we said, and Pops waited patiently. I appreciate it, Pops. Nothing but love for you. Go ahead.
It's on you, Pops.
What's that?
It's on you. How you feel about it?
I was.
I was just.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I was just trying to chime in.
How you
I
feel
got
about
you.
what the Steelers did with
Yeah.
drafting Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle from Oregon, instead of going with Shedeur Sanders when he was right there at 20?
Well, first for the defense, they was kind of needing some help. Homeball needs some help on that defense because it's getting kind of scary out there, Pat. You know what I mean? Defense on y'all defense. So he needed some fresh blood in there. And y'all got a couple guys I think it's gonna be good for the Steelers. But now for the quarterback, the whole idea of draft is to try to find your franchise quarterback. The Steelers went past Sanders several times. Now,
He got passed like 4 times by them.
yeah, but I'm talking about they chose 7 picks though, buddy. Okay. So what I'm telling you, there was 7 times they had a chance to get him, and no one, but at the very end, and that was at the end of the door there. But I'll tell you something. I'll go out on a limb and say right now, out of all these quarterbacks, because when the draft first started, they said with 3 quarterbacks, they say Sanders and Ward. They say either one of them can be one. And at first they said Sanders would be one. That's what they started saying. Then all of a sudden, the little dance happened. And then all of a sudden, Ward took off and Sanders went back. But I'm telling y'all, I'm predicting Sanders going to be the quarterback of this draft. Watch this.
Is that your phone making a noise?
Yeah. You said about defense. We did make some pretty good.
Yeah, you did.
My opinion, a couple of good defensive draft
Yeah.
picks. We got 2 in round 7. We had Carson Bruner, who's actually the son of Mark Bruner, who used to be a tight end for the Steelers back in the day, and he was a scout for him for a long time.
Well, let's do this too, Pap. We got a guest backstage. We got Ron backstage.
Yeah.
Let's bring him on.
Yeah,
Bring him on. That's why I was
Thanks,
doing that.
thanks, Trey. I appreciate it. Ron, what's going on, bro? We're gonna bring you on,
Let
and
him get in on this conversation.
and shout out to everybody who tuned in and to Ron for coming on video with us.
What's going
We
on,
appreciate y'all, fellas.
And y'all got 2 good linebackers too, Patrick.
Yeah.
I think those guys don't make some noise.
But I was saying, Carson Bruner, linebacker out of Oregon.
Yeah.
He played 52 games.
Yeah.
He had 306 tackles. I'm just reading some stats. 180 solo tackles, 16 tackles for losses, 15 sacks over his career, 14 passes defended, 4 forced fumbles, and then 3 interceptions.
That's pretty nice.
So I mean,
Hey.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So
And your other guy,
but I like Dante Kenton too. Like he was the very last
yeah.
pick that we had.
Yeah.
But he's also a good punt returner too.
I seen that.
And you could always get a good punt returner
I
that
seen
you can
that.
like throw into different positions
The
and stuff.
linebacker Bessa from Oregon is better. Y'all should have taken him.
Yeah.
Well,
better.
it's too late now.
No, but I'm just saying he was the best linebacker arguably in this draft.
Yeah.
He wasn't the best.
I get it.
Him and I'm think his name is Darren Carter, Barrett Carter, linebacker from Clemson.
Yeah,
Them the
but
two
you know how
best
a lot of
linebackers.
organizations do that. Not, I won't say keep it in the family, but if they've been watching the player and they know they got good pedigree,
Yeah,
they may pass up on somebody better.
Y'all got
'cause-
certain guys that
yeah.
y'all put that on y'all team that's they got that Steelers. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
kinda
They got a
fit the
certain
culture a
look.
little bit. Yeah.
That y'all draft, so I understand it.
But yeah, Dante Kent's gonna be pretty good, man. He played 53 games. He started 48. 235 tackles, 171 solo. He had 48 pass defending. He had 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. He had 4.5 tackles for loss. He had 1.5 sacks from the cornerback position. So I'm not saying he's not gonna be a starter, but he's somebody that can come up and learn from some of the veterans that's on the team and from Joey Porter Jr. And we'll see what happens. Maybe
Stephen Corley, what's up, man?
Stephen Corley, what's
Miss
going
you,
on?
brother. I hope you're doing all right, man. Hope everything's going good, and we love you too, man.
Nothing but love. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking.
He said he loves us, guys.
I love you too.
Before
man.
we go, we always try to pay respect to the people who came before us, and
And
We are-
R.I.P. Darryl Corley too, man.
yeah,
Your brother,
R.I.P.
man.
Yeah.
Once
R.I.P.
again.
Yep. Steven, you call him Pops Bayless, right?
What's up, Steve?
So let me read some comments real quick before we go to this next part. So Kevin tuned in. Kevin, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you tuning in. Give you a shout out. Kevin said, question for Travis. Do you feel like giving up next year's first round pick in the trade to Brandon's Rams was a bit too much for Tennessee edge rusher James Pierce Jr.?
No, I don't, because we traded for another first round pick. So that first round pick that was giving up next year is him. He's a first round pick too. So both of them are first round picks. And you got 2 of the top pass rushers in this whole draft. I can't be mad at that. I mean, how can I be? You got 2 of the best pass rushers in this whole draft. You gave up a first round pick. Big deal when you got 2 first round picks in return that you drafted.
Right.
So that first round pick that we gave up last year, I mean, for next year, it's just James Pierce Jr. essentially. So I'm good.
Yeah.
No issue here.
Yeah. And
And
Rico,
you got Walker too.
yeah. Rico said, glad we didn't.
Hold on. Let me say this.
I thought you finished. I'm
No,
sorry.
let me say this real quick. And why would I be upset? Because we was almost next to dead last in pass rush for the last 10 years. So it's time for us to be aggressive and go get somebody and actually fix this pass rush. So I'm happy the Falcons did that.
That's true.
It's about time we be aggressive, don't you think?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Rico said, I'm just glad you didn't trade for Dak. So am I. Sorry, Pops. Love you.
I'm all right with that. 'Cause
Rico,
all right.
Rico said, I'm a Shedeur Sanders fan, but we needed a right now QB. Will Howard is a little higher on my list than Sanders right now. And everybody's got
That's
their
fair.
opinion.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
And like I said, to me, it could go either way. You know what I mean? They both, all of them got all the attributes that you could see in a quarterback that you could sit down and learn or start now. All of them do. All 4 of them.
But I'll tell y'all this. I will say this.
'Cause-
we're going to see what Will Howard does with the Steelers, and we're going to see what Shedeur does with Cleveland.
Yeah.
And if Shedeur come in and turn Cleveland around, a lot of people going to eat their
Yeah,
words.
but he might not even play, man.
How can that say something?
No, I'm saying, like, even if he gotta sit-
let's say Deshaun comes back, gets his Achilles fixed,
Bro,
comes back.
They done with Deshaun, bro. They done pretty much
They-
said that in so many. They finna cut
He
Deshaun.
out for another year.
Yeah, he going to be out this whole year.
Oh, the whole year?
Yes.
The
Oh,
whole
okay.
year.
Well, Shedeur might get
they got-
he might get a chance to compete for the starting position.
This
then.
is who on the quarterback. You got Joe Flacco, which is his hardest competition. Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, who they drafted before Shedeur, from Oregon, the quarterback, and then Shedeur. Shedeur got a good chance of starting.
Yeah, he's got-
even if he
his-
don't start.
He can be behind Joe Flacco.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then he'll take over next
I
year.
can tell you what they're gonna do right now. They're gonna start Joe Flacco. I can go ahead and tell you right now.
Of course, probably.
And then if Joe Flacco runs out of steam, they're gonna play
As he
Shedeur.
should, veteran Super Bowl
Yeah,
winning
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah.
Why not?
So-
And Flacco didn't play bad at all last
No,
year.
he actually played
pretty
great.
good.
Yeah. So,
Right.
So it makes sense.
He
But Shedeur can sit for a year. That's
yeah.
fine.
Now Rico also said, Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
He already know that system because he played with them already. So
Yeah.
I think they brought him back to teach Shedeur, all the rookies, and whoever catch fire, that will be for the future.
So I see that Rico said Shador gonna need some time. Okay, that's fine. He said we need a quarterback right now because we let Aaron Rodgers hold us by the.
I agree with that part.
And that's
Well,
true.
just
but
crazy.
You think Will Howard is ready right now?
Yes,
Because,
he's a national champion, man. What are we talking
hold on,
about?
hold on.
This is what frustrates me right
hold
here.
on, Pat. Hold on. You know how many national champions that came out and got drafted and there was bums?
And
So just because you're a national champion don't mean anything.
when's the last national champion that came out that was a bum, like a bum?
Bro, it's been a lot.
Name me one. Name me one. And how long ago was it?
Well, Stetson Bennett, what's his name, Brian?
What's
From
that?
Georgia, Stetson
Bennett.
Stetson Bennett is with the Rams right now. He was a national champion. He's backing up right
My
now.
man, what's
Okay.
And he wasn't ready.
But who is he backing up? Matthew freaking Stafford.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
My
my
man
point
Johnny
is,
Manziel, he was a champion.
my
bro.
point is, yeah, Johnny Manziel had other personal problems.
Nah, but he was a national champion.
Yeah, but he had other personal problems too, though. Like
It happens, guys.
these guys don't have those problems that Johnny Manziel had.
I'm just saying, but how do we know that Will Howard's going to be ready, though? That's what I'm
You
saying.
don't know.
So
Because
we can
it's just
say
like
that-
saying
we
Trevor-
can say Shador is not going to
So
be
let's
ready,
put it
but
this
Will
way:
is.
when
That don't make sense to me.
when Trevor Lawrence got drafted, he was drafted as a starter because he was a 2-time national champion. When Joe Burrow was drafted, he
J.J.
was drafted as
McCarthy.
a. Hold on for a second.
Hold on.
Let me finish.
I'm telling you.
When Joe Burrow was drafted, he was a national champion. He was drafted as a starter. Why not Will Howard?
Because I was going to tell you, J.J. McCarthy was a national champion with Michigan, too, and he was backing up Sam Darnold.
You know, Sam Darnold's
wasn't
probably
ready either.
Sam Darnold was a high draft pick too. He's a first rounder too.
Yeah,
so.
but if he was that dude like that, he should have started over Sam Darnold. That's what I'm saying.
But Sam Darnold was a little bit better than him.
Just
Like
telling
every
you, you asked
situation,
me the last one.
every situation is different. But I will say, if you take 5 situations like that, 3, maybe 4 of them, they ready to start.
He had to sit a year. Now he's starting now. He
Yeah,
had to sit
but
a
you
year.
name me 2 situations out of
So you-
out
do
of
you think-
10.
This is the bigger question. Do you think Will Howard's going to beat out Rudolph?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we gonna see.
The only thing that'll save Rudolph that'll let Rudolph beat him out is because he knows the system.
He's not beating out Rudolph, bro.
Rudolph knows the system, so it's gonna be a good competition.
Rudolph is going to start just like Flacco's going to start in Cleveland.
I mean, and I'm good with that because Mason knows the
So
system.
that means Will Howard's not ready then.
But
Proving my point.
no, he's ready. That's a matter of choice. That's a matter of choice. At that point, it's like it's
Wait,
kind
but
of
one second you saying that's a matter of choice, but
it's kind
Shador
of
is
like I put it this way: the difference between Joe Flacco and Shador is not the same difference between Mason Rudolph and Will Howard.
Can I
That's a
chime
lot
in?
closer.
Can I chime in, guys?
Listen, if they
That's a
come
lot
in-
closer.
If they come in and they both have to sit a year, then that means they're not ready.
But we don't know that Will Howard's going to sit here. I believe this is my
He's gonna
this
sit,
is
bro.
my
Not
personal
necessarily.
No, he might come in later on with the
No,
end of the
this
year.
is my personal-
I'm talking about starting off.
This is my personal opinion. They'll come in, they'll battle it out, and Will Howard will get the start, surprisingly.
Okay.
Let me
Can I
ask-
add my 2 cents in it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Guys, here's the thing. Some of you, not all of you, some of you saying that Sanders not ready, so he needs to say it. Says who? Y'all going by what they told y'all, right? Did any of you happen to see the tape of this guy? He turned 2 colleges around. Now, look, I ain't falling for that narrative. They talking about he's not ready, he don't have an arm. Guys, they doing that to cover themselves. But I'm telling you now, I watched Sanders 2 colleges turn him around. The boy pretty much did it on his shoulder because he didn't have that best blocking. He didn't have that good of a line. But I'm telling y'all again, they doing that to tell all of you that he's not ready. He have to sit. And you talking about Flacco, but I'm telling you, remember Pop said it. This boy is a lot better than y'all think. And we going
It's Joe
some of you
Flacco.
going by what the narrative, what the NFL told you, what some of these scouts. But I'm gonna tell you, I watched them in college. And I'm telling you, you don't do the things that Sanders did and then say he's not good enough. He gonna fall all the way down. There's some other stuff going on in them grits. And you better get you some good butter because I'm telling you right now, all of you that's saying, oh, he ain't ready, he just, you watch, you know in your heart, you saw that guy. And his arm, who said he don't have a good arm?
It's crazy.
It ain't making sense what all of some of you people are doing.
And the thing is
But
this.
it's coming to you.
The thing is this too. And they say he's not ready. He don't have a strong NFL arm.
That's mess.
He actually does have a strong arm. He might not have the strongest, but he does have a strong enough.
But let
arm.
me say this, Travis. And I know you and Pat, I don't know if y'all agree with it or not. Now, if you look at him, and you know we all looking at him saying, well, he's not ready. Now you going about who said he wasn't ready? Most of all,
We never
go
said
by.
we never said that.
I'm saying the one that's saying that. No, we didn't say. Well,
Rico said he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Rico said he wasn't ready.
That's his opinion.
I
I
know
mean,
that's what we're talking
Guys,
about.
most of the time we go by our eyes. All of us in here, a lot of times we say, well, I'm going by my eyes. You going to tell me you looked at Sanders play all the way through college, turn around 2 colleges that wasn't doing anything good. You going to look at this guy and tell me you think he shouldn't have been the best 1 or 2 quarterback out of there?
Listen, he was the man in every level. High school, historically black college at the HBCU, Jackson State, turned them around. And then he turned Colorado around, which y'all know Colorado been trash for I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
That man came in there and made Colorado relevant again.
yeah, we've had this conversation.
Travis.
And, you know, me and Travis.
If his last name wasn't Sanders,
Hold on,
you think he still would fail like that?
I'm not done, y'all.
I know. Well, this is gonna feed into what you're saying. Me and Travis did bump heads about this part. It's
I'm not
like,
even finished, bro.
go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
I got my train of thought. But what I was saying is this. For him not to be ready, it's funny that people say he's not ready yet, but yeah, he was the most accurate quarterback out of all the quarterbacks. His
The
percentage.
numbers don't lie. The
You
numbers
can't
don't
be
lie.
the most accurate and not be ready. That don't make sense. It just don't add up.
And before the draft started, they had 3. Now, everybody look at me now. Before the draft started, before any of this happened, they said with 3 quarterbacks can easily go number 1.
He was even more accurate than Cam
This is
Ward.
what they said, right, guys?
That went
they
one
they
overall.
called 3 quarterback, right? Right, Ron? You seen that?
Yeah.
Either one of these 3 quarterbacks could have been number 1. What happened? Come on, guys. There's something that's going on here.
But to be honest with you, Pops, me and Travis and Nate, we talked about this the whole offseason. Basically, it was like 2 quarterbacks.
Basically, I agree.
Yeah, it was only two.
I just added that 3rd one in, Ron, because that's what they
It
say.
was only
you know.
Cam Ward and Shador talking about being.
But I agree.
But we see this every year. They pick their favorites, who they fall in love with. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Every year, they've been doing this for a long time.
Which is, they're right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're right, but like we always say, and Pops just said it, what you see on video, on TV,
Yeah, the tape don't lie.
the tape don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
If they get the ball from down the field, then hey, that should be a top 5.
He can throw 60 to 70 yards, but that's a weak arm. Don't make sense.
It should not be because he Deion Sanders' son.
That is
And
right.
they don't
That's
like
it right there.
They don't like his swag. They don't like his
Right.
confidence. He's
But-
too confident for them, basically. And
But-
they say he had bad interviews.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Patrick had brought this up. Johnny Manziel had the same thing.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel was grabbing his
Cocky.
his ding dong in
Yeah.
college,
Right.
talking and planting the flags in teams opposing end zones
Hey.
and talking shit about them. And he was just confident. He was just ready to
Right.
play. He wasn't cocky or arrogant at all.
I know.
And doing drugs.
Right.
But we're not talking about the drugs.
No.
But
We
they
talking
go.
about the character. This
I
is
know,
what we're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
They's trying to throw shade on Shadur's character when this man
Right.
did never get in trouble off the field. None of that.
So what the problem?
The problem is he's Deion's son
Yeah.
Right.
in the Sanders name, and they're trying to make them pay because they couldn't control Deion. That's the problem.
Back in the day, they couldn't do anything with Dion.
Right.
No one could handle. They didn't know what to do with it.
Well,
Now they hear a proud father. Just happened to be black. It could have been white or whatever.
Oh.
But they hear him being so proud, and it wasn't no bragging. All he was telling them how much he loved his kid. Now we know 2 families that were doing the same thing, and they didn't touch him.
Right.
But go ahead, Ron. I think you finished. Go ahead.
You cannot control somebody already made.
Amen.
Can we all agree with that?
Absolutely.
If you made up here your mind right, you cannot control that person.
That's right.
But it's just crazy because
That's
it's like,
right, man. Good
It's
point.
like everything Deion said.
Trying to get these comments.
They were saying he can't do this, he can't do that. We're gonna show him pretty much. We're gonna humble them. So to speak.
That's what it is. Yeah.
But yet the Mannings came in and did whatever they wanted to do.
Right.
The father stepped up, said, "Well, my son ain't going here. You're not drafting him here. He's going here." And they did it. They played along. But it wasn't a problem. But to them, they wasn't troublemakers or nothing.
But then he went to the team that he said he wasn't going to.
And the team, go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead, finish that.
He said he wasn't going to go to Cleveland or some team that barely or didn't make the postseason.
Who said that?
Shador. And
Shador didn't say he wasn't going to Cleveland.
What I'm saying is
He
this
never
is what he said, and I quote.
Patrick, he never
Let me
said,
finish my thought, please.
But he never
let
said
me,
that.
Let me finish
You're
my
wrong.
thought. Let me finish my thought.
You're wrong, though.
They said we're not going to go to any team that don't make the postseason or barely makes the postseason. I'm not saying he's because of name, but but this category that he put out there, Cleveland falls into this category.
Never said
Really,
that,
really
bro.
bad teams that hardly make the playoffs or postseason or don't make it, right? Or don't develop quarterbacks, so on and so forth. Cleveland is one of those teams.
He never said the name of the team.
No, I didn't say he said
It's
Cleveland.
a lot of bad teams, bro. So you can't just say that he said
I
that.
can say it because
No, you
this is
can't.
my take. Yeah, I can. I just did. I just said it. And so he said, so we're not going to go to any of those teams. And Cleveland is one of those teams. And when it got down to the last pick, when he had to go, then he went to Cleveland.
Patrick,
He never said that. But anyway,
Is that the case? All the teams that were top 5 were bad teams.
all of them in the top 10 was bad teams.
Right.
Yeah, but they're not as bad as Cleveland. Cleveland is work. Cleveland is work. Besides Joe Flacco.
But this is where you lose it, though.
Hold on, no.
The top
No.
10
What I'm
bad
saying
teams,
is
bro.
they're the worst teams in the league overall. But Cleveland is a freaking death trap for mostly everybody's career.
Tennessee was worse than Cleveland.
Yeah,
bro.
but Tennessee has turned their program around. And
No, they
Cleveland,
haven't.
and,
They haven't.
And
So have
Why you think they got Cam Ward number 101? They
but my point is they've turned their program around.
But see, Pap, you can't just
And,
say
and
stuff that
they are improving. They're better than they were the year before that.
No.
Yes, they are.
How they gonna be
Why
better
you
than
think
the
they're picking
number
number
one
one?
overall?
Why you think they're
That
picking
don't make
number one?
sense, pal. That's
They-
what you're saying.
They were better than the year before that.
Oh my god.
But look,
Anyway, the point I'm saying is
They
this
number
is
one
the point
pick
I'm
overall,
saying.
but they better.
This is the point I'm saying. When it comes to the quarterback position,
Wow.
Cleveland is the place most of where quarterbacks go and their career dies.
but
Besides Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is the only exception in Cleveland
you could
because they don't know how to handle quarterbacks. They don't know how to develop quarterbacks.
you could say that about the Giants. You could
Yeah, you could.
You could say that.
Brandon, you
about
think they gonna draft?
But
Basically, what it comes down to is Cleveland organization don't know what the hell they doing. guys.
exactly. That's my point.
They
You-
went through what 30 quarterbacks.
You're saying the same thing.
I know,
But
but
what's
I'm
different?
saying-
What's different? What I'm saying.
I know, but what
You,
I'm saying
what you
is-
literally just said is what I'm saying.
you gonna let me finish, man?
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is they don't know what they're doing. So they passed over Shador, what 4 times
Yeah.
too.
Right.
So
I read y'all what y'all saying. I am. But what I'm saying, if we gonna call out the other team for being trash, call them out. The Giants, they've been trash for a long time.
And they needed a franchise quarterback.
Well, they actually traded up to get that pick though.
Oh,
They wasn't originally the number 1 pick.
But what I'm saying overall, they were trash.
And they really wasn't trash. They were competitive.
what?
When I say competitive, within that they got the weakest division. First of all, no offense.
that's not the weakest.
That ain't the weakest.
You got the Eagles and the Cowboys.
They not the weakest division, dude.
Up until Washington drafted.
What is he
Let me
talking
finish.
about,
Up until Washington drafted.
you hanging yourself, bro.
That was a strong division, bro.
Up until Washington drafted. The quarterback they got now. Yeah, Jaden Daniels. Up until Washington drafted him, they were considered one of the weakest divisions. Now Washington's
Not
competitive. Now Washington, yeah, they were Pops.
We talking about what they was last year, and they was
No, I'm
not
saying
the
up
weakest.
until then.
But we
So
we're
now,
talking about last year.
now here's the thing
talking about
about it.
last
New
year.
York still had a chance to make the playoffs. They were still somewhat competitive to not have the pieces, and that's what I'm saying.
But
So New York actually traded and gave away some players to trade for that draft pick. They were not going to be anywhere near the top like that. That's my point.
okay, my point is, do you believe in Danny Pennies?
I believe the New York Giants organization is run better than the Cleveland Browns organization.
We're not gonna do that. We're not finna.
I ain't what he asked you.
No, what I'm saying this now, and then I'll answer your question. I believe the New York Giants organization is ran better than the Cleveland Browns organization. Now, what's your question? Now, what's your question?
Is you drinking right now?
What's your question?
Did you believe in Danny Pennies last year?
Then who?
Daniel
Danny
Jones,
Penny.
pal.
Daniel Jones. What are you asking me? Do I believe in him?
Did you believe in him last year?
Yeah, Daniel Jones did good actually. He had a neck injury, and we talked about this last year on the podcast. He actually improved before his neck injury. They went on like a 6-game winning streak.
Okay.
So when you say, do I believe in him?
Pat-
Do I believe in him that he's gonna win a Super Bowl or make a deep playoff run? No,
Where's Daniel Jones at right now, Pap?
he's not with the Giants.
I know, where's he at?
I think he's in Tennessee. I think.
He's with the Colts.
Or Colts, one of the AFC West teams. I can't
obviously-
South. I mean South.
Obviously, he didn't do better. He got cut.
But before that, he was improving before the neck injury. So yeah,
Oh man.
So he's going to have to fight it out for a starting job between Anthony Richardson and him.
But what
And
I'm
see what happens.
trying to say is, Patrick.
Look at those two quarterbacks that the Giants.
I
got.
said
The
the
veterans.
organization. I said the organization was run better because they wasn't going through running backs like hotcakes. They wasn't going through quarterbacks. When Eli Manning left, they stuck with one quarterback for at least a few years in Daniel Jones.
Let me ask you something, Patrick. Russell Wilson was with.
He got a little bit better.
Who he with now?
He got injured, never really came
With the
back,
Giants.
and then
I
after
know, I
that,
wanna
it
let you
didn't.
know.
It didn't.
If
Hold on
they
for a
got-
second.
If they got rid of him.
If they went with him for a few years, got a little stagnant, started to get better, had a neck injury, never really recovered and came back from it, never really got back to where he was, so they had to cut him. They got rid of him. So you asked me, do I believe in him in what way? Like he was gonna make a deep playoff run and go to the Super Bowl?
It's simple. You're making it too hard. Is he a good quarterback, pal?
Is he a good quarterback?
A good quarterback, yeah. Is he an elite quarterback? No.
Is he the kind of quarterback?
He's not even a good quarterback,
Yeah.
pal.
He's a good
He's
not.
quarterback. He's a good
He
quarterback.
had one good year.
Look,
with the
But you
Giants.
asked me, is he a good quarterback? Like,
No, he's not.
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
can
Patrick.
he come
He's
in?
on
Can
the
he
same
come in?
level-
Can he come in and win some games?
He's on the same level as me and Nate and Ron talked about this. We looked up the stats and everything. He's actually on the same level as Trevor Lawrence. They both is
Trevor
doing
Lawrence.
Okay, well, they're both good quarterbacks.
No, they both
I'm not
doing bad
I'm
right
not
now.
saying they're elite quarterbacks.
Yeah, they got almost damn near the same stats.
And at the end of the day, it's all subjective. That's my
no,
opinion.
I'm going by stats. That's fact. They ain't no.
Or I'm going by that's my opinion. You can look at stats too.
No, but what I'm saying is they're basically the same.
You can look at stats and still make your own opinion.
I know, but that's what I'm saying though. They're basically the same quarterback.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
And they both doing bad right now. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
They're doing.
Trevor got this year to get it right.
They're doing the worst that they've
If
done.
Trevor don't get it right this year, he might end up getting traded.
But my thing about the Jags is though they don't hardly have any offensive line, and what weapons did he have around him?
He had a lot of weapons around him, actually. They was coached by Doug Peterson, one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah, but he might not
Jacksonville-
been a good fit for that quarterback for that team. He might not known how to put the right team. And,
You asked me a question, I'm trying to answer it.
yeah, but what I'm saying is he might not.
Shit. What I'm saying
We're
is,
doing this back and forth because y'all
Jack-
do me the same way. So
okay, but you asked me a question about Jacksonville, right? I'm trying to explain it.
yeah,
Okay, but Jacksonville is one of the biggest enigmas because they got weapons everywhere. And a franchise quarterback supposedly had a great coach in Doug Peterson, which got fired, by the way.
so
And-
maybe he wasn't a great coach for them.
Okay. But Liam Cohen,
You say Daniel Jones got traded, maybe he wasn't a good quarterback. Well, Doug Peterson got fired, maybe he wasn't a good coach for them.
everybody knows Doug Peterson is a great coach. Everybody knows this.
Okay,
So this ain't no bulletin or nothing.
but maybe he wasn't a good fit for them.
Okay. Or maybe Trevor Lawrence just ain't the guy.
Could be both.
That could be the case. Too.
Could be
it look
both.
like
Well, let's
Trevor Lawrence is still there. Doug Peterson is not.
Let's change speeds a little bit.
Yeah,
man.
because they drafted him to be the franchise quarterback. This is what, fourth year or
almost
fifth year
yeah,
coming
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
So he's
And
on,
then
he's
on-
on the hot seat now.
And then they last year he got hurt toward the end of the season. Remember that. And the year before that they won their division, but the way the numbers and the wins went out with everybody.
When Trevor Lawrence got that bag,
They lost.
when he got paid, that's when he started.
Now you
playing.
cutting me off.
I'm sorry. I thought we was talking back and forth about
Yeah,
it.
last year he got hurt before the end of the season. Remember that? He went out with that really bad concussion.
Got nothing to do with that.
And then earlier that season, I think he hurt his knee. But the year before that, they won the division and went on a playoff run and got kicked out the first round. But my point is,
Same thing as Daniel Jones.
but my point is, that is a good quarterback. It may not be playing at an elite level, but that is a
Jones
good quarterback.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying we're talking about Trevor Lawrence now.
They're on the same level, bro.
But Trevor, so okay, let me put it this way: Dak Prescott makes the playoffs and he gets kicked out the first round, but he's not a good quarterback.
That's for you.
Me?
Because the same thing happens to Dak
You want me to
Prescott.
answer?
He's got no.
Dak, but to be fair though,
Dak has better.
I can
Yeah,
answer
Dak
that.
has got to multiple.
Dak has
First-round
better,
playoff
but
berth,
he's
though. To be
been
fair.
but he's been in the league
So
longer
he's
too.
better than both of them.
He's been in the league longer. But my point is, the same thing happens to Dak. He's got better numbers.
Same thing. No, it's not.
Not the same thing.
The
You don't
same-
have no-
the same
Dak
ending. The
Prescott.
same ending. They go out the first round.
You
So my
mentioned
point
something.
is,
He's got to the
Right
playoffs more times.
but
than
because
them.
he's been in the league more.
So it's not the same.
He's been in the league what 10 years?
Yeah, but
Trevor Lawrence has been in the league 4
You
years.
can't say that's the same though.
So even if Trevor Lawrence made the playoffs,
they've been to the playoffs.
even if
one time.
Trevor Lawrence made the playoffs every year, it'd still be 4-9
Oh my gosh.
or 4-8 or whatever.
Patrick, they made the playoffs.
He's gonna
one
make the
time.
playoffs more because he's in the league longer.
Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones.
Am I
made the
right,
playoffs.
Ron? Am I right? If he's in the league twice as long and he makes playoffs most of the times,
They both won.
then that means that he's gonna have more playoff appearances because he's been in the league longer.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
10 years to 4 years, and let's say they both make the playoffs every year. You're gonna have Dak that makes the playoffs 10 years, and Trevor Lawrence that makes the playoffs 4 years, even though none of them would have missed.
okay, let me ask.
My point is, Dak Prescott, in my opinion, he's a great quarterback, awesome quarterback. But
You do know Dak made the playoffs his first year, right?
yeah, but my point is,
Trevor didn't do that.
but my point is, and here's my
That's what we're
point.
talking about.
Yeah, he had a. But my point is, if we're talking about people being the same, at the end of the season, their seasons ended the same. Dak Prescott's season ended the same as Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones.
But they're not the same.
You either don't make the playoffs or you make the playoffs
no.
and get exit the first round.
Okay, but they're not the same because
I'm not saying they're the same. I'm making a point.
Okay, let me say
I'm making a
this.
point to saying that you
All right.
can't say the guy's not a good quarterback.
he's not.
Well, that's
I
it.
can't
And everybody's got
believe
their
you use
opinion.
Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott in the same sentence. I can't believe you're doing
You know
that.
what I'm saying is, I'm not putting them in the same sentence. What I'm saying is,
You are.
a quarterback that makes the playoffs is a good quarterback. That's just like me saying, and I've been on Mike Tomlin's you know what,
I thought you was
because we hadn't won a playoff game in 10 years, but y'all kept saying, no, he's a great coach. He's one of the best
He
coaches.
is.
But he hadn't won a playoff game. He can't get the team over the hump. So you can use it. You can use the same argument.
Mike Tomlin
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying.
Mike Tomlin won a Super Bowl.
Ron,
That's
do you
the difference.
understand?
No,
the
Mike
point I'm
Tomlin
trying to
won a
make?
Super Bowl. That's different, pal.
Yeah, but now he's not good.
So he's got a little leeway.
But my point is,
and he's been
it's not leeway now.
He's been getting y'all team to the playoffs every year.
If anything, it's an indictment because you go from winning the Super
Y'all want
Bowl
to see
to
what
not.
people saying in the chat.
You go from not winning the Super Bowl to not winning a playoff game in 8 or 9 years. That's an indictment on you as a coach.
Listen to what he's saying. This is crazy.
No, what I'm saying is you're going to try to say the quarterbacks ain't good quarterbacks. I'm not saying they're great quarterbacks, but I'm not going to say they're not good quarterbacks.
You're the only one that would give Daniel Jones that type of credit. You're the only one in this room
saying,
right now.
me saying he's a good quarterback don't mean I'm saying he's a top level quarterback.
Look, Daniel Jones not a good quarterback. You mentioned
That's fine. Listen, Ron, that's your opinion.
that's
It's the league's opinion.
Look,
right, now-
when he first came out, they was hopeful for him.
Yeah, most backups are considered good
That's when he first came.
quarterbacks.
First 2 years, they was hopeful.
Most backups are considered good quarterbacks. Otherwise, they wouldn't be backups and they wouldn't be in the league.
That's not necessary.
I would not even give Daniel Jones $40 million.
I'm not saying how much money he's worth. This is not about how much money he's worth. Is he good enough to be in the league and be a backup quarterback? That's a good quarterback.
All of them are good enough.
They can come in and win a few games for you. That's a good quarterback.
Okay.
So now we're getting into semantics. Like,
No,
what do these words mean?
Yeah, we talking about starters now. Though. We ain't talking about no
The
backups.
Giants front office is garbage.
I didn't say. Well, I didn't say they were garbage. Matter of fact, I said the New York Giants organization is ran better than Cleveland. That's actually what I said.
No, I said the front office.
And that's you. You saying that?
I just said it.
Okay, that's fine.
And I agree with you there. The Giants organization is ran better than Cleveland.
That's all I'm saying.
That I will.
And you argue me tooth and nail that they're not run better. But
I didn't argue
some
that.
people would say that. No, I'm talking about Ron.
Yeah.
Ron's arguing me up and down that okay, and that's in a matter of opinion, but a lot of people would say, yeah, the Giants organization probably ran a little bit better. That's all I was saying.
Cleveland is the
And then
worst.
I'm saying,
Cleveland is the worst ran organization in the league.
and then on top of that,
For
I'm
sure.
saying that if somebody's good enough to be in the NFL and be a backup quarterback, they're a good quarterback. That's all I'm saying. That's a simple
But
statement.
we're not talking about backups. We're talking
I'm talking
starters.
about being a good quarterback.
I'm talking about starters.
I never said that Daniel Jones still deserves to be a starter. I never said
That's
that.
what I'm talking about.
Well, then you never said that during our conversation.
Can I say something?
You just said he
I
wasn't a
think I
good
had to say
quarterback.
it because he was the starter for the Giants, and I
You-
said
you just never-
You was talking about how good he was, and I said, well, he got cut, and now he's over
Nope.
with the Colts. And now he got to fight with Anthony Richardson for the starting.
If we were
job.
arguing whether or not he's a starter, then I would have said, I don't think it's.
That's what we talking about.
No,
Because I said he got to go. And
no, what we were saying is, was he
for the starting job?
What we were saying was he a good quarterback?
Ain't that like goes without saying?
No, it shouldn't. It don't go without saying. Because that word never came up in the conversation.
So I said it then, because I said he gonna battle with Anthony Richardson for the starting job.
Okay.
And so he's not gonna.
So he's a good quarterback because he's got the opportunity to battle for a starting position. If he wasn't a good quarterback,
okay, look.
Then first of all,
Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback.
He'd either be.
Let's not spend this whole conversation about Daniel Jones.
He'd be like Trevor Lawrence. And if Trevor Lawrence don't get together, he gonna be down the same.
Before he would either be third string or he'd be out the league.
Guys, what podcast spend the whole
Stetson Bennett
the whole time talking about Daniel Jones?
Well, hold on there.
I can't believe this.
I mean, it's a good topic.
And Stetson Bennett is the third string quarterback on the Rams, by the way, behind Jimmy G.
Okay.
Just to make that clear.
Okay. And
he's a national champion.
And
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
not every situation is going to be the best. Not going to be the same.
Yeah, two-time national champion.
It's not going to be the same.
I'm just saying.
Did I say every national champion?
I'm just saying. You said. I'm just saying.
I'm saying that name out of all the national champions. What's the percentage of national champions out of college that come and be a bust or be a third round quarterback?
A lot of
third string.
A lot of them.
Well, name them. You should be able to name them off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head
because there's not a lot of them.
It is a lot of them.
All right, so let's.
Ryan knows it more than me. He watches more college than I do.
All right, why you saying something, Ryan? I'm gonna cue some comments.
To be fair, I watch mostly NFL, but
Stetson Bennett, that one, he got a drinking problem.
Okay, well that's an exception.
Wait a minute. Let me.
Is that not an exception?
Let him talk, man. Let him talk.
No, but this is stuff that don't make no sense.
You asked him. You gotta let him
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
He got a drinking problem, and they hired that in college. And now he went to a DUI school when he got into the NFL. So they told him, if you want to get on the team, you got to pass the DUI class. And so he's trying to find his way back to be the next one in line when Matt Stafford retired. Okay, Patrick?
Which Stafford probably gonna retire in like 2 more years.
You prove my point. That is an exception. Like if he comes in, he don't have any external or exigent circumstance, any problems or any issues. Same thing with Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel, not trying to bash him on social media, but he had issues with drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. And now he's come clean about it.
Cocaine too.
But my point is, that's an exception. In other words, if they don't have those problems, we're talking about a totally different narrative. And it's the same thing with Stetson Bennett. Without the drinking problem, he don't fall to be a third string quarterback trying to work his way back up. You're proving my point. And you know I'm telling the truth.
And running from college.
It is an exception.
And running from college, but yet he's still getting the opportunities.
Well, that's another subject. My point is, that's an exception. Name me a situation where there's not an exception, where they don't have some kind of exigent circumstance or problem that physically or emotionally or psychologically stops him from competing at a high level.
Patrick.
In other words, it's just them failing. Pops, can I finish, please?
Yeah.
That stops him from competing at a high level.
You gotta let other people talk too, though, pal. You can't just talk over everybody. Come on now, this is a shared land. Dad is sitting here patiently. He wants to talk.
Yeah.
It's so much now.
Well, I'm waiting for Ron to answer the question.
Go ahead.
Well, I didn't name a lot of them. One of the best quarterbacks ever, Brett Favre. He had a drinking problem in Atlanta. He cannot even get on the field in Atlanta. Why do you think that Atlanta Falcons traded him to Green Bay?
And he went and won a Super Bowl. Come on, man.
Eventually.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
And thankfully, he overcame the thing that he had. And he was one of the ones that was able to overcome it. But this dude ended up being one of the greats of all time and ended up winning a Super Bowl. And then making another run with the team later in his career at an older age.
Let me say this, guys.
In my opinion, it's not a good example.
Even the Giants.
Because he had a drinking problem. That's an exception. Go ahead, Pops.
Right now, even the Giants fans was coming here. They'll tell Patrick, No, he's not a good quarterback. Even the Giants fans say
Okay,
it.
everybody's entitled to
So
their opinion.
for us to waste this much time talking about Daniel Penny Jones.
How many times?
Come on, guys.
How many podcasts a week have
Patrick,
we
let me
spent
finish.
10
I
or
didn't
15
cut you
minutes
off.
talking about
I didn't cut you off.
one team or another?
I didn't cut you off.
Especially Dallas.
Patrick, you throw Dak Prescott in everything you do, every conversation you do.
No, I don't.
But I can tell y'all this. That's conversation that people love to swing on Dak. I think them days is over. But I ain't gonna go. That's when we talk about Cowboys, I explain that. But them days, everybody putting Cowboys down. Last I remember, we got an A+ out of this draft. And these days are over. But I ain't gonna say no more. But anyway, the bottom line, there ain't no Giant fan will come in here right now and defend Daniel Jones. The first year or two,
None.
he was hopeful. Now, when he had Barkley there. But I wonder, you had Barkley there, and they still couldn't generate that many wins. I wonder why. Because of that quarterback.
Well, and just because of that.
No. Let me finish. And I know Barkley has some problems with injuries, but you got to understand why. When you got a quarterback that did like Daniel did from time to time, and you got to have a quarterback that's really on top of what he's doing. He got the awareness. He got a good eye to see. He can scramble. Look, the bottom line was this. Now he done got with a good quarterback. And last I know, Barkley was arguably speaking, the best back in the league now.
Yep.
You gotta understand. You put people with the right combination. I don't care who they are.
Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback, and he's
Man,
one of the
say
greatest
it.
in the
When they
league.
say
There's a
he's the-
difference between him and Daniel
Patrick,
Jones.
He's a Super Bowl champion. We're not saying that. I said you put him with a good quarterback. That's what I said.
So Jalen Hurts is just a good quarterback now.
A lot of times people
No,
say good.
I'm 10 toes in on this one because I'm making sense.
Well, let
Well,
me say, God Almighty.
Well, actually, I'll say this.
A lot of times people use good as great.
It's
Sometimes they keep those two words come in together. Sometimes they're still saying great, they say good. Sometimes they say great. You can use that word either way.
Yeah, a lot of people say Jalen Hurts is just a good quarterback.
But we're not gonna get into that because I don't
They
want to
That's
say
their
that.
opinion.
They don't
That's
say he
fine.
elite. That's what I'm just telling you.
Yeah, okay,
what a lot of
that's
people
fine.
say. They say he just on a
What do you
good
think?
team. Me, it's tricky with him. I think he's elite.
Okay, well that settles it.
I think he's elite.
So there's a difference between him and
Ryan,
Daniel
you know,
Jones.
I was fending for Jalen Hurts way back when they was trying to get rid of him. When Philly was trying to get rid of him.
My point is, there's a difference between him and Daniel
So I
Jones.
think he's elite,
There's a difference between
and
him
I
and
think
Daniel
he's
Jones.
proven it. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this much: that Super Bowl wasn't won because of Jalen Hurts.
Well, it's a combination between
Combination.
Yeah,
Really?
that he had to make certain passes.
Don't cut me off, but I can
No,
prove
no,
it.
damn. He
I can prove
had
it.
to make clutch passes to.
They say he couldn't pay
It
him.
wasn't just because Saquon either. Now
That he ain't the only one
Saquon
that made that
helped.
happen.
Saquon helped. He was a big.
He ain't the only one made that happen.
That defense too. Like it's a combination.
trying to
of
say
things.
it.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. Bro.
And,
Hey,
and Saquon he didn't score a touchdown. He didn't have many yards at all, if you remember.
What are you talking
compared to what he had in the regular season and then his other playoff games.
And good coaching. It was just a good team, man.
Yeah.
It was a perfect storm, bro, all the way around.
All I'm trying to say before I got cut off, Jalen Hurts is put in the best position that a quarterback can be. He got 3 number 1 receivers. He got obviously the second best offensive line. Obviously, some of them say first, but we know he was the second best. They had the number 1 defense. Now listen to this, guys. They had the number 1 defense. They had the best back, obviously speaking, other than Henry. And you had 2 or 3 of the best coaching. You had a wonderful front office. But stuff like that, you can't lose a lot of that stuff.
He gonna crap on the
Can I
Eagles
say
every chance he
something?
gets.
No,
because
I
Dak
think that's
is in the same position.
Bro, I should give him all the credit.
Yeah.
Dak is in the same
Can
position.
I say something?
No, Dak not. Whoa. I'm gonna wait till we get down.
Y'all are injury ridden.
No, there ain't no injury. I'm gonna blow you out of water for that, but I'm gonna let it go.
Can I say something now? Can I say
Okay,
something?
go ahead.
All right. What I was gonna say was you're right to a certain point, Pops.
Certain point.
But at the same time, when Jalen Hurts first got there, he didn't have all that. So he just now getting that now.
Yeah.
To be fair.
All right, real quick on comments. Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yo, you the lead comment.
Okay. Well, Rico's was saying a while back, and I was going to touch on this, but we got going into what we were talking about. But the defensive tackle was an immediate need because we got to where we couldn't stop the run like we needed to, which is true.
Oh, we went back to.
So we gotta, we need to fill that. Like I said, Cam Hayward is at the end of his career. But then he also said, with all that said, all the stuff we were talking about with Shador.
Why don't you play the video while you're talking about it? That's what you got it for.
all that said, the NFL was completely wrong for all the collusion amongst the owners and the coaches. We could see straight through the BS.
Thank you, brother. We can. I mean,
So.
it don't. Stevie Wonder could have saw it.
I want to make sure I get these. Get
I'm
that
glad you
comment
said
in there.
that, Rico, because Patrick doesn't believe it.
You don't believe it, Rico?
Glad you said that.
Guys,
No, I said it could be or could not be. I wasn't in the room. Don't even try that. Travis is trying to.
I was saying you did kind of say that.
Nah, I never said that. Don't say kinda and put words in my mouth. I never said that.
You implied it.
No, I never implied it. What I'm saying is,
let me tell y'all.
we were talking. Me and Travis were talking about interviews and how some of the people said that he's Travis stirred the pot.
The NFL was talking
Hold on
about.
for a second.
But Patrick, you
Travis said that we were talking about interviews and how some of the head coaches and GMs were saying that he didn't interview well, and Travis was saying it was
Which was a
BS,
lie.
and I'm like,
Brandon say Stevie Wonder can see that though.
I told him he could. He could have.
and my thing is this.
Brandon,
Only thing I said
we're on the
is,
same page, Brandon, right now. We all of ourselves.
only thing I said to Travis is, could be, could not be. We wasn't in the rooms with him. Maybe he did interview bad.
Now look at you.
Bro, my
Maybe,
Sison admitted to it.
but maybe he didn't. That's all. That's what I was saying.
Sison admitted to it.
But let me
That's
say.
what I was saying.
But can I say another 2 words maybe?
And Boomer Esiason is not an owner.
You gotta stop him. That's the thing.
Can.
Good luck.
Guys, all of you done seen Sanders' son. You know what manner, them boys has got great manners. They well groomed. They very respected. They are godly people. They are godly kids. Now,
I'm ready to move on, man.
look at all that. Those kids are some of the best kids you
Trying
can
to read these comments.
Well, you're supposed to bring the video.
Those kids are well mannered, well trained. But you know what their problem was? A lot of it had to do
Which video?
It still is the draft picks. Why are you talking about?
A lot of it had to do with their daddy.
said it the last
But guys,
5 minutes.
anytime you heard them guys talking, did you ever hear them disrespecting, talking out of line, or talking crazy, or using that slang? They didn't use none of that stuff. So you mean to tell me in an interview they gonna all of a sudden change their spirit? No. I'm gonna tell you at the beginning of the day, you know what?
They don't have vulgar mouths.
No, they don't.
None of that. They was raised.
And
right.
they very respected elders. You ever noticed that? Now I'm gonna tell you something that I seen. I know you guys saw it too. At the beginning of the draft, that's something I noticed that just kept popping back.
What's going on, Nate?
When you look at the Sanders,
I'm just not seeing your comments.
this is what some of the people said in the
I'm trying to
NFL.
read.
They was mad at the Sanders boys because they got endorsement and they ain't even got into the draft yet. Guys, listen to this. This is jealousy, envy. Them guys got endorsement and they shouldn't have that. He called himself legendary because he got his own brand.
That's his
They
brand.
call themselves legendary because they got their brand.
And basically, they got mad because,
Go ahead and say
like
it.
I said, he got his own brand, legendary, and they say, "Oh, why can you call yourself a legend? You ain't did nothing yet." But everything he's done, he's turned every way he's went, he's turned the program around. So
What?
he succeeded up to this point.
And I was gonna say,
That's sad.
and some of
They say he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and that he's spoiled and all this. This is basically things that they're projecting on him because he can't help it. He was brought up in money.
yeah, and I would like to add that it's good that he had his father with him too, because Deion's coaching and the fact that he used the portal to bring in good players and built up the programs, that helped out a lot
That
too.
got nothing to do with what they were judging him about.
So
Well,
I think it was a good. I think his overall situation was outstanding situation. Him being the leader on the field and having his dad who had the football experience.
But you remember, they did the Ball brothers like this too.
And the coach.
LeVar Ball,
Yeah,
his sons,
yeah,
they did them
yeah.
the same exact way.
They did.
And a coach, but
Same way.
LeVar Ball almost
And now they balling, too.
LeVar Ball almost talked his sons out of the league, almost, because he ran his mouth a lot.
never
Like he
was gonna
and
happen.
a lot of stuff he was saying was just made up stories and ludicrous to pump himself up.
Never was gonna
But that's another point for another story for another day. I'm glad his sons are doing good. They're in the league. The main thing is they got in.
But it's relevant to this
From
conversation
my-
because
If we wouldn't even-
we're showing families that they hated on.
No, but my point, there's a difference between Deion and the Ball's dad. I can't. Is it LeVar? What's his name?
LeVar Ball.
LeVar
What's
Ball.
the
Yeah,
difference?
yeah.
We're talking about family tradition going into the NFL.
Deion, despite the fact that Deion was cocky,
Cocky?
and he was cocky, pops.
He was confident.
He was confident too.
He wasn't cocky.
He was
never cocky.
Deion was cocky. He was cocky, which is not a bad thing necessarily.
He was.
Pops,
Deion was never
Pops,
cocky. He
we
was
can
confident.
agree to disagree. Deion Sanders was confident. He was the best at what he did, but he was also cocky. He was.
I ain't seen
confident.
that.
But that don't mean that it was necessarily a bad thing. But LeVar Ball was on a whole nother
Let's
level,
let the
man.
fans talk. Let's let them
He,
talk for a while. Let's see what
He embellished, made up stories. A lot of times he made it more about him than he did about his son.
But that's about basketball. No, we're not talking about that right now. We're gonna keep it.
Well, Travis brought it up, Pops.
But he just mentioned it.
No,
Because he was saying that it tied into it. And my point is, and now that I'm talking about it, making a good point about it, then you want to move on.
No, you keep going with it.
I'm comparing the parallel.
I know what you're doing.
Of families that fathers that got sons that's coming into the NFL, just like Archie Manning, his sons.
But my point,
LeVar and his sons, Deion and his sons. But the difference here, like I say, the Mannings didn't get that smoke, but the black families did, and that's just a fact. There ain't no opinion. That's a fact. Cause they're too arrogant, too cocky, too flashy. They're spoiled. They was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They can't help. They came up.
and Deion was all those things. He was cocky and flashy.
They can't help. They came up in money.
Yeah.
Deion backed up everything he said he was going to do.
I didn't say he didn't back it up.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying what's going on. This ain't directed towards you, bro.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No,
Oh,
I'm talking to them.
my bad.
But I'm just saying, like, it's obvious collusion going on. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. You know what I mean?
Guys,
That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to predict something that nobody said yet.
All right.
But the NFL and what they've done to this young man, this ain't over with. This thing right here is going to blow up pretty soon because everybody know what this were. This ain't because he had a bad attitude or because he didn't have a good interview. Man, we know what this was about. Some of you don't want to admit it. But before the boy even got to the draft, they were talking about he shouldn't have them endorsements.
There was a lot of prejudice going on.
God,
for sure.
man. I mean, and Deion,
and we see why.
And Deion said
they're still the ultimately thing is they're still jealous of Deion. That's what it is.
would y'all say Bo Jackson it was cocky? Would y'all say Bo Jackson was cocky? Because he was into everything. He was doing everything. Would you say he was cocky?
No.
No, why not?
He
He
did
did
the same thing
everything
Deion
too.
did.
He did everything, and he was talking.
His personality.
He had a lot of, he had a lot of
No, his
confidence.
personality was not cocky at all.
What?
Bo Jackson was one of the was kind of reserved to an extent.
No, Patrick. No.
No, he wasn't cocky.
Bo knows this. Bo knows that. Bo was talking about
Man,
he was talking
come
about
on.
That's talking cash shit right there.
They had commercial
man.
Bo saying, I could do that if I wanted to.
Nike did that.
So that ain't cocky.
No, Nike came up with that slogan to promote,
Okay.
to promote him
That's
because
not cocky though. I'm asking.
no. Bo wasn't being cocky. Nike came up with that slogan, made a commercial out of it,
Patrick.
sold the merchandise because he was a dual sport athlete.
Patrick.
Travis! Bo wasn't cocky. If you watch Bo in any interview before and after games, and then you watch Deion, that's like night
What
and
about
day
Jackson?
almost.
What about Jackson?
That's like night and day.
They said he was cocky. What about Jackson?
What Jackson? Which Jackson?
Say,
Who you talking about?
Who are you talking about?
There's a lot of Jacksons. Who you talking about? Bo Jackson? Who we talking about?
the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Who?
No, Lamar don't come across cocky.
He don't. But a lot of people said that what they was calling him in the
And
beginning.
you just pulling out different athletes' names.
Guys,
That was actually saying about Lamar Jackson. He was too hood.
Yeah, they were talking about all
Yeah,
kinds.
but not cocky.
Oh, there a lot of them called him. Someone called him cocky.
No, they were saying he was too hood.
Okay.
No,
Guys.
no.
I'll digress.
He pretty reserved.
But next
He's
week,
pretty reserved.
next week,
If you call that cocky, then
I'll come with some receipts.
okay.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
No, I'm saying at the time when he
You know how Pop is.
He didn't got
Next
more-
week, I'll come with some receipts.
he got more confident now.
I'm not talking about
I'm talking
right
about
now. I
when he
said
first,
they did.
yeah, when he first came out, he was real like kind of quiet this time.
But
He
anyway,
was.
my
I don't
point,
even know how he got thrown in this conversation.
because I do a lot of studying.
Yes, sir.
But I'm telling y'all this right here.
Just,
When I told
At that
them,
point, it ain't no
y'all
point.
remember when we had this podcast? When I told everybody that,
Ron, why you laughing?
well, y'all know when we had this podcast at the very beginning, you know, I told y'all that the NFL ain't gonna like Deion being like they take care of son. Everybody said, "Oh, come on, Pop." I said, "This gonna be a big thing," and it turned out to be a big thing.
Yes, sir.
Now, but the bottom line is this,
That was
guys.
the feet.
He was like, yes, sir.
You know what?
Because it ain't gonna do no good.
I know, and I know, and all the older G's, they know black, white, red, green, whatever. All the older G's have been around a while. They know what that was.
But Pops, you're right. A lot of people were cocky, but a lot of people did not get
You're
this.
not gonna play the videos at all?
Run out. That's what I'm saying. They didn't call it. Certain people wouldn't call.
Which video you want me to play?
Look at T.O.
Supposed to go through your
T.O. was passing what they call it. T.O. was just passive about football. You know what they call T.O.?
You don't have to. You don't
Troublemaker.
That's too hard of a turn right now. That's too hard.
But some of the same guys did the same thing T.O. did, and they would never call out their name. Guys, but look at my man that went down on his knee. They blew it out of proportion. It was all about the way the law enforcement was treating people. It wasn't nothing about anything else. It wasn't about racism or nothing like that. But you know what?
Will you pull your guys up, please? You drive me crazy, bro. Please.
I'm gonna read these comments first.
You can do that and still pull them
these
up.
fans.
Go ahead, read them. Go ahead.
Kevin asked me, Patrick, did you hear a story about your first round pick, Derrick Harmon's mom passing away the same night he got drafted?
Yeah.
Yes, I did hear about that. And that was
He,
sad.
and he was by his side.
Yeah.
By her side.
There was a video when he was in the hospital with him.
May she rest in peace. And
Yeah,
like I said, we're
rest
sorry to
in
hear
peace
that.
to her.
And it seems to me an inspirational story. I know it's hard to talk about when somebody passed away, but in the sense of it seemed like she held on long enough for him to get drafted and get back to her. To me, anyway. And
That's a lot of incident. A lot of football players. With
yeah, I did hear about that, Kevin. And
Look at Dak Prescott, mom and daddy coming back around. Look at his brother. Dak Prescott still was playing. We can go there. We can go there to some situation even worse.
why does everything got to go back to Dak Prescott and the Cowboys?
No, I was telling them that.
Why?
Patrick, can you just let me speak just a little bit, please?
It was unnecessary at that point.
But it's his. Let him speak what he want to say. It's just like you say what you
I
want
was
to say.
telling my brother. I was telling my brother that you said that about his mom. There was a lot of football players had to play through that. That's all I said. And Dak was one of the worstest one. Cause he just had lost his mom, then his brother suicide.
That is true.
Now you gonna sit there and tell me that wasn't bad?
I'm not saying it wasn't bad, but
Yeah, Patrick.
Ron,
But anyway, go ahead and read some more, Patrick. Read some more what they're saying.
you're already on thin ice as it is, brother.
You gonna bring up some more what they're saying?
Yes, sir, I am. Rico said, I just feel Howard fits our style better than Sanders. I pray the young brother is successful. Talking about praying that Sanders is successful.
He's already successful. But
Yeah, that's what it makes sense.
whether the NFL took him or not, he was going to
He
be all
means-
right regardless. I get
well,
what he's saying, but
Successful in the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
How many quarterbacks
There's a
do y'all
difference.
know?
And that's why they mad at him.
I'm gonna ask you, run all of you. How many quarterbacks y'all know that turned around two colleges? When the college was flat and they turned them around and on their shoulder. How many quarterbacks you know that's in the NFL that done that?
No,
Yeah. Rico said that
How many?
Not many.
most quarterbacks, a lot of quarterbacks didn't change programs like that.
But he did.
And then a lot of quarterbacks that did change programs, they went on to win national championships. That's my point.
Patrick, specifically, how many?
He won the championship with Jackson State, though.
Yeah, but it was a lesser conference. Come on.
A lesser
Historically-
conference.
It was, Pops.
Historically black college, I get it, but he still
When I say lesser conference,
because
the
it's a black college.
it's the competition when it's hard.
I can tell you something right now that'll make you understand what you just said.
Patrick, that man.
A lot of those players that was out there.
The narrative.
You do know that
What'd you say, Ron?
Travis Hunter came from historically black
Yeah.
college.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
He was he went number 2 overall. You know that.
Yeah.
The narrative.
God, he said something.
What'd you say,
I
Ron?
don't think he thought about what he said.
No, he ain't talking. He ain't thinking.
What'd you say, Ron?
You heard what I said, fool. You see how you changed the narrative.
I didn't hear what you said. I ain't your fool. So say what you said. If I'd heard what you said, I wouldn't have asked. So I ain't boo boo the fool. If I'd heard what you said, I wouldn't have asked. So maybe you need to speak louder. What'd you ask?
Patrick.
He's in his feelings, Ron. Forgive me.
No, I'm just saying. What'd you ask? I mean, he jumped at me like, you heard what I said. If I'd heard what he said, I wouldn't ask.
I said, you see how you just changed the narrative.
I didn't change the narrative.
Hey, Ron, speaking your mic. You're kind of speaking off the
Even
side of your mic.
because I
directly
can't hardly
into the
hear you.
mic.
Because
Yeah.
even Colorado, even the conference that Colorado played in is not as competitive.
But it should not even matter.
It does matter.
It's still a program, though.
But it does matter though.
The point is what we're saying is everywhere he went, he turned the program around, regardless of where he went.
Then that's
That's what I'm
good,
saying.
and that's fine, and I'm not denying that. But my point is too, though, is if Sanders is in the same competitive conference
Am I?
as the other two quarterbacks, and does the same thing, then it does. Then that aspect does make a difference.
But that's hypothetical because we'll never know.
Guys,
I ain't hear you.
I'm gonna say this right now. This thing that some of us are saying, or that,
Ryan being
that-
smart
that-
ass. What'd you say it again? I didn't hear you.
that narratives that some of the people got. Well, his college, he was in a little small college, but they done big. It ain't gonna matter when you get in the NFL.
No, it's not.
That whole thing about this guy played with a small college,
level-
this guy played with a big college. When they get into the NFL, a lot of them small college people look at Travis Hunter.
A lot of
That don't mean nothing.
a lot of he was a big fish in a small pond, pops. And
What about Travis Hunter?
I'm talking about Travis Hunter.
Did y'all say somebody he was the best wide
How was he a
receiver?
big fish in a small pond when he came from a historically
Yeah.
black college?
What I'm saying is he was the best of the best.
That's lower talent in historically black colleges.
And he was a standout. He was the best of the best. He was a big fish in a small pond.
That's the point I'm making.
How come everybody else that he played with?
in that small pond too.
How come everybody else that he played with and everybody else all on the other teams in those historically black colleges didn't get to where he got?
Can I explain
Because
it?
it's a lot of players that balled out in historically black colleges, but you know and I know the NFL ain't gonna draft a bunch of historically black college players.
They don't
They
do
just
it.
don't.
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
did.
Patrick.
No, they didn't. They got 2 of them.
Okay,
That's not a lot.
they got 2 of them because they were better than the other people they were playing
No,
with.
Patrick. It's a lot of them that played at that level, but
Patrick.
anybody,
Yeah,
am I
Patrick.
talking crazy here? Anybody that watched the
It's just
NFL
a-
and historically black guys know a
This
lot
is
of
a matter
those
of
players.
opinion.
This is a fact.
It's a matter of opinion.
A lot of those players don't get drafted, y'all, because they from black colleges. Everybody knows this.
And let me say this. A lot of times, some of them that play the small colleges, it's got a lot to do with finance and situation. Some of them guys just as good as the big college, but sometimes some families just not wealthy. They in a part where there's more poverty at. So when you start talking about other little college, they know those guys in them little colleges, sometimes it's situations and poverty and finance that got them where they at.
Yeah.
And they hoping they can advance from there and go to a bigger place. But when they do, they always be good. Most of them.
Hey, Brandon, the difference is, you said they say the same thing about Manziel. The difference is they still went ahead and drafted Manziel first overall.
Yeah, they didn't have no problem with him.
They punished Shador and put him to the 5th
Yeah.
round. Huge difference.
And he went-
he's a top 3 quarterback.
Rico White says JJ was hurt. I don't know which JJ was talking about. Maybe y'all can help me
JJ
out.
McCarthy for Vikings.
Oh,
but he
yeah,
was never
yeah,
going to
yeah,
start
yeah,
over
yeah,
Sam
yeah,
Darnold
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
Sam
yeah.
Darnold still was going to start.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And then Rico said yes, and then he said I watched every Jackson State and Colorado game.
Well, he seen it. He saw how that
I
sounded.
seen it too. I didn't watch a lot of college, but I did watch them.
I
when they
watched.
played,
I watched enough of them to see
and they balled out. Yeah, they
Yeah, they-
lost
yeah,
to
they-
BYU.
that guy was
They
doing
balled out.
special.
They balled out.
But you
He
gotta
was-
understand that man did not have no offensive line.
There you go.
down
I'm gonna
there.
say that. I'm gonna say
He was
that.
getting killed back there, man. And they said, "Oh, he was holding on to the ball too long, taking unnecessary sacks." Maybe sometimes, but what quarterback don't do that?
Yeah.
Every quarterback takes some unnecessary sacks sometimes.
He did ball out.
Travis. And it got so bad that Dion went to the defense and said, "They're killing my son out there. We gotta do something." He actually went to the defense for that team.
And my thing is this: that offensive line was bad, but he still overcame it
And still
regardless, and still was winning with a bad offensive line. Cam Ward had a good offensive line.
Yeah.
That was the difference.
He had a couple more good receivers too.
No, they all had good receivers.
But
So I
he-
can't knock that.
he
They
had
all
a little
had
bit better,
not
though.
the same type of weaponry.
Nah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
It don't matter what you don't agree with. This is the fact. This
Yeah,
is
now
what
let's
it
go
was.
through these names because Nate said Matt Leinart, Marcus Mariota,
Yeah, he
Jamin
had
Winston,
weapons, too.
every quarterback
Both of
from Alabama.
But no
national-
line, it don't mean anything.
Every quarterback from Alabama national title quarterbacks that should have been better than a lot of QBs in the league.
But one thing is for sure.
So let's go through the names.
The future is gonna explain
Matt
all
Leinart,
this.
Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, all the quarterbacks from Alabama, national title quarterback, should have been better than most of the quarterbacks in the league. True.
And they had their chance.
And Jameis Winston was with Florida State.
And did they not come in and have starting jobs? This is my point.
They haven't panned out though.
But my point
As
is
far as,
they
like,
came in as
keeping a starting job.
Let's go back to the conversation. We talked about should Will Howard come in and be a starter like right out of college? And I said he's a national champion. Most of the time, that's the case. That was my argument. And all those names that he just hold on for a second. All those names that he just named came in and were starters.
You can talk normal.
Okay, all those names that he named came in and started. Now,
Your
maybe
mic
they
is already loud. We can hear you.
but they didn't pan out. Maybe. But my point was, they earned, in my opinion, at least the chance to come in and compete for a starting job or be a starter.
So you think Will Howard is going to beat Rudolph out? Mason Rudolph's what I'm saying.
We don't know the future, but there's a good
It's
chance
not
he
going to
could.
happen.
He asked him what you think.
It's your opinion.
I think he can.
No, will he? I'm putting you on the hook. Will he?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, man, because you come.
So you're unsure then? Just say that.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
unsure he's gonna beat him out, but I'm unsure that Mason's gonna beat him out.
I'm sure that Mason's going to beat him.
He might.
Yeah,
That's how
man.
confident I am.
My thing is, I've gone to bat for Mason time and time again, and Mason is a good quarterback. Mason
Yes,
did lead us into the
he is a
playoffs.
good quarterback.
And
I
my
agree.
point is, Mason already knows that system. So for Mason to win out of that position is not necessarily a bad thing.
But
It's
to
no
be
surprise.
fair, we already know what Mason is, though. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's going to win you a couple games, but that's about it. He ain't going to take out no Super Bowl win or nothing like that.
Not at this point in his career, no.
Yeah, it's over with.
But my
for that.
point is, Will Howard, we don't know what his. I mean, he's got loads of
He's
potential.
got upside, yeah.
So we don't know what his thing's going to be either. So
But
to
he ain't
say,
starting over no Mason to start off. I can tell you that.
I mean, it's a matter of opinion. That's just like us saying Shadur is not going to start over Joe Flacco. Nobody's going.
He's not.
Most people are going to say, but lo and behold, it could happen.
But it's going to be his team eventually. That's the point I'm
But it could happen. But this is all speculation at this point.
If Flacco get hurt, then yeah.
because none of us know.
I'm gonna make. I'll
If he
say
stay
this.
healthy and they go into it, Flacco going to start off the
But these names.
I'll say this. I'll go for it.
but
Say
these-
this. Guys, Pat, don't mean to cut y'all, but it's something that y'all miss and y'all need to say. With the way this young man was treated, I don't think he's gonna get a fair chance. Just his pop. The way they treated this young man, Browns didn't even want to take this guy. So y'all really think the Browns gonna give him an equal chance? I don't think it.
He gonna have a lot of reps that he gonna get to take because he's the right
Exactly.
now fourth stringer.
Yeah,
on the team.
And guys, he ain't gonna be on the Browns long. For it's over with, somebody gonna get him
And
off
if he
there.
do get cut, it's gonna be a blessing in disguise.
It
So he
is.
can go somewhere
It'd be a
else.
blessing.
So
It's
me,
a blessing.
you, and Travis were like, "Hey, if he get cut, somebody gonna pick him up."
I know. 3 teams right now say that if they wasn't in the position they would have picked him. They would choose him.
But one thing about Shadur, he's practicing already, working out, working on his craft.
Yeah.
Giving back to the Cleveland community already. He's serious about this thing. He partied the first night, but after that, he's right back to work.
Yeah.
So
Did y'all hear the
I
interview
do like that.
Did y'all hear the interview that Dak gave about Sanders? Did y'all see that interview?
I didn't see it. I seen what he did about it.
Go ahead and look. I ain't gonna say what it was. Go listen
No,
to
go ahead and say it. What you on the podcast?
Go
You
listen
brought
to
it
the.
up.
Pat, I know you don't like to hear nothing about Cowboys,
Bruh, you
but
brought
we
it
ain't
up.
talked about the
Tell us.
Cowboys at all. I mentioned one little
Damn.
I didn't say
Tell us
anything.
what
Nobody
he
said
said.
anything.
But I wanted them to hear. But
I know,
he-
but tell us what he said.
Well,
Bob.
let's put it this way. A long story short, he gave him all the props. He told him in no other roundabout way that you are a starter. You are better than everyone telling you are to say. The moment you get your chance, you're gonna shine. He said, and I'll tell you right now, I got you. He said, because I know what you can do. He said, and you know what you can do. And your dad is Deion Sanders. He said, when you get your shot, he said, let it go like it's supposed to. He said, when you get your shot, he said, you show him what you made. He said, cause I got you. And I'm telling you, if they hadn't got Joe Milton, they'd have picked Sanders right off top. Because
Oh, yeah,
that's
I
what it
believe
was
that.
all about.
I believe that.
And now,
Me too.
if Sanders not going to beat the Browns long, y'all pop saying it first. Because when you mistreat someone like they did him, and then you start talking all kind of smack about him, they ain't going to give you your shot. They're not going to be supporting you like they supposed to. I ain't seen it happen yet. When somebody don't like you, they don't like you.
Cleveland Browns are talking smack about him.
The way they so-called celebrate, man, he got drafted. It was like,
The reporter asked the guy, and the guy said it was at the end of the draft. They were tired.
no. You got to go look at it.
I saw
Man, they
I
was-
saw all of
They
this
was
stuff.
standing up high five at every draft pick they made. With him, they was like this.
Uh,
And then maybe they wasn't.
And then they was looking around like,
right.
Maybe they weren't.
Do you know what the most motivating
Sometimes
Think-
you gotta admit to some stuff.
The-
man. You
the
say
most
some
I'm
stuff-
just
motivating
ready to
thing
move
about
on,
the draft.
man. I'm ready to move on.
Look, the most
I'm
motivating
ready to
thing
read some more
about it.
comments.
God,
Put these videos up. We've been talking about this for like
Patrick, you could have
2 hours.
up 20 minutes ago.
You can still do that while we talking.
No, I'm not gonna put up videos about teams while we're still talking about this one topic that don't have nothing to do with our
If you put up
team.
the video, we'll start talking about that. That's
Right now, the hottest thing,
We're not gonna cut each other off like that.
the
That's too-
hottest thing going is
That's
about
on you there. You're choosing.
the hottest topic going is Deion Sanders' son right now. That's the hottest thing going. I can't believe it took out Dallas. Normally Dallas is the hottest topic. I'm so glad something else came by. I just hate it that it's that. Hey, I'm just speaking the truth. Am I lying, guy?
That's a fact.
Am I lying? Patrick want to laugh about this stuff, but Pop keeping it real.
Dallas is the number one talked about
All the time.
There is all the time.
But now Sanders is.
And I hate to admit it, but I gotta be honest.
And the bottom line is this: he said, no, everybody will try. No, the main thing of every draft is the last guy. Everybody wants to see the last guy because that's a saying now. That's what everybody waiting on, the last guy, but they can do that zero thing. So don't say they retired because every draft they wait for the last man in. That's a trend now.
Brandon Howard said Cleveland always ends up with the controversial quote unquote QB.
Yeah.
And then he goes, yeah, that's true. I mean, they gave Deshaun a chance after all that lawsuit and stuff was going on. And then they, with the biggest contract for a quarterback, all guaranteed.
That's how stupid they are.
And they trying to get out of that right
But
now.
yet, Ryan was arguing
Right
me.
now.
But yet, Ryan
Right
was arguing
now.
me that they are better run an organization than the Giants. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where Ryan came from.
Jeff, and then Brandon said Baker got Cleveland to the playoffs. LOL.
Where's Baker at now?
And my boy Jeff was like, "Let's go, Reggie Bush killing this
Quarterback
year."
from Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Got him to the
He ain't
playoffs.
with him anymore. He with Tampa now.
But I mean, he's playing consistent. He's doing good. The point is, we was talking about character.
Yeah, I know.
And
That's
his
what-
character was the same, but worse than Shadur's,
Yeah.
and he still went first
Yeah.
overall.
And
That's the point I'm making.
Rico said that Dak is a good QB, but the Cowboys organization is trash.
Well, I put it this way.
Ryan, why you sit back like that?
Well, hey, I mean that's his opinion though.
Damn, dog.
But I will say this: when you look at everything that's going
Dang.
on, a team that's got 5 rings is not trash.
Oh, here we go.
There's no here we go. I'm keeping it real. Some people keep forgetting that you talking about a team that ruled for a long time. And don't for everybody, you saying I think what he's saying is some of the front office.
4 years in the
And
90s.
I don't agree with you, bro, because I think you familiar into the front office and what they've been doing, how they've not been giving this boy talent, how they always seem to be not going for the big money when they got somebody sitting there and they could do it, they have the money to do it. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not gonna go against you with that. But those days,
I can't believe you put up the video.
those days
I'm
have changed, bro.
shocked at this.
If y'all don't see what's going on with the Cowboys now, something's wrong. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you.
I'm sorry, Pops, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Kevin said, after this season, just trade Trevor Lawrence for Justin Herbert. One generic, overpriced, underwhelming white guy for another generic, overpriced, underwhelming white guy.
To be honest, Kevin,
I think Herbert's better.
Up because Pittsburgh.
I think Herbert might be better, too.
I think Herbert will be better with Jacksonville. Personally.
I think so too.
Pittsburgh,
It's all about the right spot, the right people. You put the guy that's not doing so well with the right people, he excel. It's been proven. So, put the right people around him. Put it that way. So hey, let's just see. Let's just see how this season shape up.
I had to stir the pot, Rico. Just a little bit.
Brandon said, Cameron said one thing I agree with. I wish the best, but I'm about to quit feeling sorry for rich folks. He did say it.
Well, Cameron can say that because he's rich.
Of course.
Let's go to the next.
That's a point that people probably won't even think
Let's go
about.
to the next.
Like he's rich. I mean, what is
College level, the standouts prevail. Pro level, those who prevail stand out. I like it, Brandon. I'm going to put that up and say it again, too. College level, the standouts prevail. Pro level, those who prevail stand out. Facts. I like it.
But guys,
Not in all cases, though. Because some cases, coaches got their picks.
I said that ain't
If they don't
so.
like you, they will not give you the fair opportunity
Yeah,
to
all
get
that's
somebody
not
that they
so.
like.
Just
So
some
that
of
is
it in
not
some
true.
cases.
How many players we've seen that can play in this league that get cut because they're not given the opportunity like they give
Exactly, a
somebody that
lot
they
of
like?
players.
So,
Look at all the players in the draft that didn't
I
get
understand what
picked.
you're saying, Brandon, but no.
Not in every case, bro. No. Look at all the players that could have went number one, but they didn't get drafted. Now think about that.
Hey, if you either win your position or you don't.
No, that ain't the way.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Patrick,
You
what
compete for your
y'all didn't give
position.
me a chance to finish.
You do know, pal. Like,
God.
for instance, let's just say wide receiver. I'm gonna put the wide receiver position up. All those coaches sit down at the table. They vote on who they want to keep and who they let go. So it just comes down to opinion based. Don't mean the player can't
So you got to do what you need to do.
But that's my point.
To sway their opinion.
But that's my point.
No.
If it's two
Yeah,
guys,
that's really what it
let's say
comes
it's
down
two
to.
guys, and they both balling on the same level. It's gonna come down to them still picking which one they want.
So there's something about you that's got to sway their opinion towards you.
And a lot of them don't have
That's
to do
what it comes down to.
But a lot of it don't have to do with talent, though. It don't have to do with
I've seen
talent.
players
Well,
on
no.
Hard Knocks. We watch Hard Knocks, guys. If y'all watch Hard Knocks, that I feel like outball a certain player at their position and still get cut.
Yeah.
It happens
Yeah.
all the time.
Because
It
the
happens all
person,
the
the
time.
person that
because
they,
a coach don't like this about
A certain thing about them.
so
It ain't all about
there was
talent.
something about that person.
It ain't about talent.
There was
all
something
the
about
time.
that person that swayed those guys' attention toward opinion toward them.
Oh, you're a good player. You're gonna make it somewhere in this league. Keep your head up. That's what they tell you.
And I don't like the way he talked.
And there was
I don't
something.
like the way
There
he-
was something
he
about the
dressed.
guy they picked.
I don't like the way he dressed.
I'm such a good player, but yet you're cutting me.
There was something about the guy they picked that swayed their opinion toward that guy.
We seen
In-
that
in the
with
story.
Arthur Smith was our head coach. Travis.
Shit, we've seen too many.
Yeah.
You know, Ron, we had players on our team that was really good that we did not expect to get
Yeah,
cut. in that.
everybody know they done seen it was some players
Don't
was
feel like
good
they outplayed
and they didn't
another person in
get
that position, you know what I mean?
get drafted. Like it ain't because they wasn't good enough. It's
Yeah.
who they like and what choice. And sometimes they get it wrong. Coaches get it wrong a lot. Y'all ain't noticed that when they pick people over people, sometimes they get it wrong.
Maybe Mike Tomlin might feel like he got to be desperate and go ahead and put Will Howard in from the start. We'll see.
Rico seems to think that he will beat Mason out for the position.
We should see.
We gonna
Kevin
see.
said, Deion Sons the number one topic this week. I thought Shannon Sharp and the payout
No.
to the OnlyFans chick was the topic of the
Deion
week.
Deion is.
He's making a joke, Pops.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp. He pretty much brought that on himself,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
And nothing I can really say on that. I'm sick of talking about Shannon too.
Yeah, that's why I was making you say nothing about Shannon because he brought that on himself.
Yeah, I posted so much stuff about it. I was like, okay, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
And we finna
We
move on
were
from this
last
too.
about it.
Yeah.
So Brandon says, a person that had the best car 5 times 30 years ago, but hasn't since, mean they have the best car now?
Can I answer it?
Yeah, that's for you anyway.
When you walk into the room, the one that's got the best car, but when that person walk in and had the best car, look, they say, "Oh, look who's here!" Yeah, it means something. If you had the best car all them years, all of a sudden you don't this year, and the person this year got it, it does mean when that guy walk in that's been the best, guess what? He's still the best. They look at him and say, "Oh," they be saying,
What?
They be, yeah, you can say what all you want to, but when a guy has been the best all these 5 or 10 years, then the guy win for 1 year. You let the guy that's the old champion walk in and see what happens.
Yes, sir.
They'll forget. Say what you want to say. I've seen it. I know what's going on here. A guy that's been the champ for 10 years, like he said. Then a guy the champ for 1 year. You let that guy for 10 years walk in while that guy won champ. You watch. Do you ever notice how Mike Tyson will walk in and wasn't even in boxing, but they all look at what Mike Tyson say he's a champ? So that thing you just said, no, there ain't no truth to that. If someone was great, they are still great.
He pushed the button.
Ain't nobody put you.
And he knew what he was doing.
Patrick, why you do that? What I just said made some sense.
Y'all not the best right now, Pops.
Last I looked, we was America's team.
But y'all not the best.
And we still got the money. We still bring the people in, and we still the most talked subject in the world. You can say what you want to say, Brandon. I know where you're going from but the bottom line is this: the proof is in the pudding.
That's like
it's still the Cowboys. We still them boys.
That's like in the UFC.
Yeah.
Hey,
but-
Brandon, there be a lot of playoff teams that be on Hard Knocks too, not just bad teams.
Yeah, so do.
You got. That's like being in the UFC and you're not the UFC
you talk all
champion.
you want to.
You don't have the
That's
belt.
nasty, man.
But so they made up a belt for you called the People's Champ, just so you to have a belt.
That's like
But
Bruce
you're not
Lee.
the champion.
That's like Bruce Lee. Every time Bruce Lee went someplace, the people that got the belt and the champ to be in the ring. When Bruce Lee went somewhere,
And
they
he's-
forgot about the
and
champ.
he's got a
Talking
good
about
point.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
All I'm saying to you is this: if someone's been great for a long time, they're still great. Because people don't forget greatness.
And Brendan Howard said, "What made y'all great then doesn't show on present resume."
You know why I don't show the present? Because we're not pushing the same authority like we were. But bro, don't worry. Them days is over. Them days is coming to an end fast. If you ain't been paying attention, you better get your laugh out and get all your little clown jokes out right now, because that's when it changed.
Bill Schottenheimer, I like what he's doing.
Don't worry.
With y'all though.
That's when it changed.
I think this is the first time y'all really got a coach that's serious about getting back to greatness, because all y'all coaches in the past here the last couple of years have been kind of it's just coaches. They okay, but nothing were really serious about getting y'all back where y'all supposed
And
to.
Dak ain't had nothing to work with. Only CD Lamb. Guys, I promise you, you better get your laugh out and have your fun now. Because some of you going to be sick. Because when this thing start coming off, I'm gonna be the one up there going to be pushing the knife in too, twisting it. Go ahead, keep talking and laugh.
That's undrafted, Pop.
All right.
I know.
But trust me, from what I saw, and y'all know we got an A+ for draft, right? If you didn't know, all the stations, all the media, they gave us an A+ to draft.
Pop, you do know we all got an A+, right?
No, not everybody did. No, they did. Now that's something only somebody not thinking would say that.
We did.
Everybody didn't get an A+.
We did.
I bet everybody wished they could run. Not everybody didn't get that run. A few people did.
About us.
You said everybody.
I said us.
You meant to say us.
Travis, Patrick, and me.
You meant to say us. But you said everybody, bro.
Okay,
That's what you said.
Yeah, Pop.
And you said they gave y'all an A+?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Can't nobody else have an A+?
No. I've been studying. I've been keeping up with it.
Only Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Now you're gonna talk me down because I've been watching the draft. I watched what the media say, and I didn't see it on A+ there.
No, Pap said, can't nobody else have an A+? I said, no, only Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas ain't never had none of that in the last four seasons.
You know
We've been at the bottom of the food chain.
Are there any other teams that got an A+?
Yes.
There's a couple, but not everybody didn't
Not
get
a
it.
lot. Yeah, not a lot.
Everybody didn't get it. That's why I'm telling him everybody didn't.
If you got an A+, or A+ or A- or just an A period, that's a great draft. So it doesn't matter.
But we ain't even talk about Cowboys. I just mentioned the name.
Because our draft was A+. I don't care what nobody say.
Right.
You get everybody that we drafted. We only had 5 picks, and the way we traded and maneuvered with 5 picks, and everybody we got is a starter except for one guy. That's a great draft. You know what I mean? Most drafts, you get about maybe 3 that might be starters. The rest of them kind of developmental or backups. We got starters all the way through. So
Majority of everybody Cowboy pick was starters. And the one that retired has been like a year past. And they was number 1 in their position. But I ain't gonna blow my horn for them tonight. I ain't gonna have to. I'm gonna sit back and let this thing play.
Just putting the clip in it.
Michael Paulson ain't by himself no more.
Yeah, but we're gonna show you guys the Steelers draft picks if you don't know.
Lord, I'm
Just let it go over it a little bit.
Still got some holes, y'all.
And
They didn't fill up. Now I'm just keeping it real.
Y'all still got some holes back?
Yeah.
Brandon said, once our coordinator, but what do I know?
Do y'all still got some holes, Pat?
Yeah,
What's that?
Pat.
Dad said y'all still got some holes that y'all ain't filled in.
Yeah, Patrick.
Quarterback is one. They not sure sold on their quarterback
they
yet.
got Will
Except
Howard.
to act like you don't know
That's
that.
their quarterback. Dad. Will Howard is their quarterback.
No,
Yeah,
they waiting on another quarterback.
That's who they got. I don't know what you want.
Last time I remember they waiting on who?
The only thing I can say is y'all got a quarterback and y'all still
I'm okay with that.
y'all still end up on the couch with everybody else.
Out.
We talking about what happened in the draft.
No, we talking about the subject you brought up.
I'm just saying.
Now you don't want nobody to throw that back at you.
No, Patrick.
The very thing you talking about me not having a quarterback.
Patrick, y'all don't right now.
Me not having a
They
quarterback.
have Will Howard.
They waiting on. Okay.
And the thing about it is,
I'm gonna act like it didn't happen.
Who they waiting on?
The team that
You
don't
talking
have
Steelers, right?
the team that don't have a quarterback. Guess what? Ron, make this make sense. The team that don't have a quarterback ends up in the same position as a team with Dak Prescott every year. Make that make sense.
I can make it make sense.
At the end of the season, when it's all said and done, we both sit at on the couch at the same time.
We can say.
Am I right, Travis?
All of us.
Y'all can say what you want to say.
So my point is,
We all know that the Steelers
you
took out a franchise
trying to throw
quarterback.
off
They
over
took
here.
Yeah, Will Howard is their. They believe that that's their franchise quarterback, though, Pops.
That ain't what they said.
You gotta respect that.
They made it clear to us who they waiting on.
Who's that right now?
What?
Forget it.
Who are they waiting on? Who did they make clear?
I want to hear. I want to hear this. He's gonna say.
A Steelers fan sitting right here.
He's
He don't know
gonna
that.
say Aaron Rodgers. But go ahead. I want to.
That's what they said. They holding them hostage.
They not-
They waiting on Aaron
Oh,
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Oh,
Don't sit there all of you act like you don't know that.
I thought you were talking about another
They
quarterback.
not pleased with the guy they
I thought
got. They
you
waiting on
talking
Aaron
about- I thought you
Rodgers.
talking about another
You ain't,
quarterback.
it ain't about thinking. That's about numbers now.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about another quarterback coming
No,
out.
you didn't say that.
Hey, Ron.
We were talking about this year.
Hey Ron, we're waiting on Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, Ron, if you didn't know that,
Speaking of that, now that y'all
you
got
need to
Will
get the
Hardy,
wake-up
though,
call.
what are y'all gonna do with the Aaron Rodgers? Well, y'all gonna move on?
The only thing we can do with him is that's an Aaron Rodgers ball.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's hit court.
what do you think?
The head coach said
Well, I
it
think
live that we're waiting on Aaron Rodgers. Said what he's gonna do.
Mike Tomlin ain't said they waiting on no Aaron Rodgers. Now you gonna talk about my team like you know my team better than me, just like you talk about Ron and Travis' team.
They did
Like
say-
you know their team better than him.
They did say they waiting on Aaron
He
Rodgers.
did say that.
No. No.
BC for it.
They say they waiting on.
They say we talked to Aaron Rodgers and we're in a good place.
Ah, dang it.
And I forget the rest.
He
But,
don't even
but he
know
never
his own
said.
team.
But he never said we were quote unquote waiting on Aaron
They
Rodgers.
They didn't say it direct.
No,
Oh, never said that.
I can tell you what he said.
That's my point.
I can tell you what he
That's
said.
my point. He never said he was waiting on Aaron Rodgers.
All right, all right.
But
They imply that you know how they.
But because he also said my coach, my team that I know also said, but you know what? We're going to proceed to go into the draft and draft the positions that we need to, even if that means quarterback and business as usual.
Is the system gonna be?
Period. End of story.
Is the system gonna be clean because I'm smoking all that weed on that retreat? That's the
let me
thing.
ask you, Patrick. Who do you want?
You talking about Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
I ain't worried. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be playing for the Steelers.
Yeah,
when
will.
are y'all going to realize this?
That's what I'm.
Aaron Rodgers will be playing for the
Aaron
Steelers.
Rodgers was using the Steelers as a bargaining chip to see what was out there, to see if how other teams would
So you don't know about it. do you?
offer and stuff like that. That's what he was
So
doing.
you don't think he gonna be playing for the Steelers?
Honestly, he was waiting on the Vikings, in my opinion. He wanted to go to the Vikings.
So he trying to be on his Brett Favre stuff.
Maybe, I don't know.
The Brett Favre did the same thing.
On my
Maybe.
studies,
Play the video.
Maybe, I don't know.
what my studies and what I've been looking into with the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, they are waiting on him. Now that's what I gathered.
Yeah, Brandon Howard said McVay been beating the draft like child's play. Last comment, and then we're gonna play this video. Pittsburgh will make the playoffs without Rodgers because we've been making the playoff without Rodgers. With Rodgers, there's potential.
We never said anything.
He just
about
has
that.
to buy
We never
in.
said that.
If they get him, it'll be enough of an upgrade. But he's not coming to play with the Steelers. If Aaron Rodgers wanted to come and play with the Steelers, he would have signed right away.
No, not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he would have signed.
He's
Right.
playing around with it right now.
Aaron Rodgers is a divish quarterback. So
I agree with that too. And
So he trying to take his time.
let me put it this
Exactly,
way.
Ron,
Let
exactly.
me put it this way. When there was a chance for him to play with the Jets, they met. He worked out and he signed. There wasn't none of this stuff. He don't want to sign with the Steelers.
Why you think that is?
Yeah, Pat.
I think it's the coaching and the program. I think he doesn't see
You
the
think
pro.
you think y'all organization is trash?
Yeah,
I don't
Pat.
think you don't think it's trash, but I think he thinks that there's no progression, and he don't see this organization
not
getting
worth it.
past the playoffs at this
Yeah,
point
that's what
right
I'm saying.
now.
It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
man.
him, because think about it, he's later in his career.
At least,
not
he
quite.
being honest. You know?
Yeah, not quite as mobile. Still got an arm, still can read the defense, but not quite as mobile. And so he's thinking
So he
he's
don't-
not going to be running around in the backfield avoiding tackles the whole time. And then to a team that has had talent before, a multitude of talent, and still couldn't get it done.
So he don't think y'all worth a damn then.
So,
No, I'm asking.
I don't think he thinks it's worth him coming to the
Damn, he
team
can say
so
it,
let
bro.
me ask you
because,
this.
like I said, later in his career, he needs a sure shot of a team.
Do you
and-
think he needs to retire?
Do I think he needs to retire?
Yeah.
If he can't find a solid team with weapons around him that's got a good line, maybe so.
Y'all got a good line. Y'all got
No, we do not have a good line. Have you been watching? Now he gonna talk about I say stuff that don't make no sense. Travis, get your boy.
I thought you said y'all didn't have no holes.
Get your boy.
Did he just not say a little while ago that they didn't have no holes? I said y'all got some holes.
Man, Pop
He
still
said
on this whole
we
thing,
didn't.
man.
No. You said a little while ago that y'all was good. Y'all didn't have no
Are
holes.
we gonna get through these videos or what, man?
I'm
I've
gonna
been saying this in the last hour.
He just came back and had a conversation.
The last season that we just had, we drafted the Samoan guy, and then lo and behold, the second week in the season, he got injured. It's the injury
Can
bug.
we play the videos, please?
Yes.
Yeah,
Pops is on the whole thing. Ron talking about, so we got a good line,
That means Holmes mean y'all got places that y'all should have filled, man. Y'all
and we did.
All right, I'm done.
okay, go
We
ahead.
drafted offensive line. We drafted defensive line. We drafted tight end. We drafted linebackers, and we drafted quarterback. And we drafted cornerback and punt returner.
The videos. Can you do that?
He controls the video, y'all, not
He
us.
talking to you, Pep.
No matter what we're saying, that's you. That's you in control of that.
Oh man, I tell
It would have
you.
made more sense to play it while we was talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
about it.
why we
You had time to do
That's
it
what I was
then.
trying to get him to do.
That's why I was trying to kill the time for you
What's
to
the
do
point in
that.
putting this together if we're not going
Right.
to do what we
Only
put together?
Patrick Jr.
Well, we went off on a tangent.
Yeah, but you should have been.
That you still gotta be professional and stick by the script, bro. You can go off
Yeah,
on a tangent and still do what you
We
want
not
to do.
working the stuff you are.
Yeah, Patrick.
God.
Only Patrick, boy.
While we was talking, they gave you time to.
I shouldn't have to keep repeating that over and over again.
Says the guy who said we had a great offensive
Only
line.
Patrick.
I never said you did.
I'm talking about Ron.
I'm talking about
Pittsburgh
Patrick.
Steelers hit a couple of home runs in this year's NFL draft. And what I mean by that is they got some absolute value here.
These are the
with some of
Steelers
these
draft
picks.
picks,
And what
guys.
I wanted to do was kind of
For
break
those who don't
down
know.
some of my favorite ones and show you exactly why I believe this team just got so much better. So again, we're going to break down about 4, maybe 5 players in this draft, but if you want a part 2 where maybe we break down the rest of the players, all you got to do is comment down
pretty
below
big, Pep.
P2 and get this over
They
500
can see
likes,
that.
and we'll drop the
They
next
can
video
see it. Come on, us.
ASAP. With that being said, let's kind of dive in and meet
Sheesh.
this year's Steelers draft class. Now, first things first, we need to talk about Derek Harmon. This guy
You
is
can break
an
it down while it's
absolute
playing.
dog of a football player.
Y'all get it?
Has
Already
broke it down. I've already
extreme
we've already talked
versatility
about
on
the
the
picks.
interior of the
Y'all get
defensive
this guy
line.
shout out.
Great flexibility as well. We
Yeah.
all know that Cam Hayward
Travis,
is getting
did
up
y'all
there
get
in
this guy
age,
shout
right? He
out
probably
on
won't
the-
be playing
from the video?
more than another year, maybe 2 years
Oh, yeah, shout out.
in the NFL. And Derek
Shout out to
Harmon is
Matty
the only
Dubs,
perfect
man.
fit to
He's
kind
one of the
replace him
best
down the line,
YouTubers
but a great
going,
guy to be a mentee
us using his content.
of Cameron.
Hopefully you don't
Cameron
strike it
Hayward
down,
over
but
the
like I
next
said,
couple
we're
of years.
using it.
Again,
And
this
shout out
is a guy
to
that
you,
helps
Matty
out in
Dubs.
a bunch of different
You know,
areas.
respect
You're gonna
to you.
see him try to loop for
Yeah,
his teammate.
he's one of the
Now,
best
what
on
is
YouTube.
looping?
Brother
When it comes
smooth.
to
You,
He's smooth,
boom,
man.
attack
Sports,
the outside
period.
and allow your guy to attack the inside. Now,
So y'all go to
sometimes
his
when this
channel,
happens,
subscribe,
you can confuse these offensive linemen, and
share.
you can generate a little bit of pressure from either side. Normally, it's for this outside edge rusher, but he does a really bad job getting around Derek Harmon, right? But Derek Harmon takes his one-on-one, blows past him, and then look at the chase down speed
I like Derek
of
Harmon,
Derek
though.
Harmon,
He's
man.
good.
This is a guy I have so much
I just would've
faith
took the
in
quarterback
going
first.
forward. In my opinion, he
And
was
who was
a
he
lock
sacking?
to go first
Is that
round. A
Will
lot of people
Howard
said
that's
they
getting
might have
sacked?
taken him a little too early. No,
He didn't
I
get
don't
sacked.
think so at all. 6'5",
I know, but I'm
310
saying
pounds,
pretty
an
much
absolute
he's
unit.
right
If
there,
you
he's
leave
hitting
this
it.
guy in one-on-one situations, he is going to demoralize you. Look at this play.
Got
They're
it
going to be in
away.
a 5-man scat, slide to the left, leaving a one-on-one right here.
That's the
You
guy
do
that's
not
gonna
want
beat
that
out
ever
Mason Rudolph,
with Derek
huh?
Harmon. Now, the first thing you're going to notice when looking at some of his stats is he's gone
Like
better
Mason
each
Rudolph ain't
and
got
every
sacked.
single
Like everybody
season.
gets
No, no,
sacked.
I'm just saying that's the guy that's gonna beat him out. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
the national
I didn't say anything else. I just said
The
that.
national champion, Will Howard.
A lot of national champions don't do
It's like you one of those
nothing.
people with short-term memories. Like this is the
Bruh,
national
a lot
champion.
of the national champions.
God,
don't do
listen to the
anything
guy.
in the
Listen to the
NFL.
guy.
As it is right now, he's the best in college on his level, right? And until he comes in, until
Best
he,
in college.
what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, he's the champion.
That team is. I give him that.
He's the champion. He's the best quarterback in college, according to the stats. He's a champion.
Stop.
With
With that
not
being
the
said,
quarterback
until he
in
goes
college.
to the NFL and fails,
You hear this?
I ain't-
what I'm saying
I ain't
is,
telling you.
what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, he had the best end to his season. His season ended up being the best season because he's a champion.
Last season, they
Wow.
struggled when it came to getting to the quarterback ranking 20.
Pops believes Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the league.
Don't be asking.
However,
talk for me.
the
You
best
can't talk for me.
The best quarterback at the end of the
That's what's
day.
on your mind. Don't put me in
That
that.
said he don't believe that Dak is the best in the league.
Oh,
No, I ain't
okay.
never told
Never
you that.
mind, never
I ain't
mind.
never told you Dak was the best in the league.
He said
Never.
Patrick Mahomes is.
I've always said that.
And then he said Lamar Jackson is
But
next.
also the patience
Okay.
of a running back Like,
So-
I'm gonna
Then he
say
said Dak is
Le'Veon
somewhere
Bell, at
around-
least in
So
my
who's the
opinion,
best?
Six.
Who ended up being the
I
best
know
at the end of the
told you that.
season this year?
The Patriots
Don't- I ain't never told you Dak was in no
Open
six.
He's best
up
around
the
6 or
gap,
7,
fakes
somewhere around
outside.
Who ended up being the best
I
this
ain't never
season?
told you that, man.
Oh, I thought you had said that.
No, you didn't say that.
One cut back.
Dak
up,
right there in the
cut
top
back
five.
lane.
But
Right there in the
who
top
ended
five.
up-
That's what I said.
No, you said 6.
In and out
I
of
heard what you said.
You fell for
Whatever,
that.
dude. Whatever.
Pops, you fell for that hook.
No,
line,
I didn't
sinker.
fall for it.
Yeah, you
I
did.
let him talk. He was talking. I'm gonna cut him off.
Johnson is he adds a different
basically the same,
dynamic of
6'5",
style
same
to the running
difference.
back room. Yeah, you have 5'8",
think
5'9",
Dak is even
Jalen
putting
Warren,
in six.
Kenny
This
point,
Gainwell.
wasn't the point of
This
playing
guy's
videos.
6'1", 224 pounds,
Okay,
and a
let's
load
stop
to
it.
bring down in open space. I loved this pickup. Now, this season, Caleb Johnson was incredible. Got a lot of touches this year
You can fast
compared to
forward to the
last
other
season.
picks
Had
if you want.
240 attempts, but averaged 6.4 yards per carry and had 21 touchdowns. Now, he's not much of a receiving target, but he can catch the football. He had 22 catches for about 190 yards last season through the air. Now, overall, had an 86.7 rushing grade, was really good in zone grade and gap grade as well, and has a really
Just
high
stop. If you don't
elusive
feel like
rating. We
talking
saw
about
that
him,
on
I'll
the
stop
tape.
it, bro.
No,
What's the point of
He
this? You
absolutely
ain't gonna
made guys
break
miss
him
in
down
open
while he's
space. And
going.
so quick in and out
Well,
of his
he's-
cuts.
he's doing
I am
it.
all in on him. As
I know,
a
but you
running
can comment
back
what
here
you
for the
feel
Pittsburgh
about,
Steelers,
you
and I
know.
would
Yeah.
even, put
can
him
always
in, slot
stop
him in
and
as
finish
that
what
day
you gotta
one
say.
starting
Bro,
running
this, some of
back.
this stuff
And I
is,
think he would be the
should go
1A,
unsaid, bro.
1B.
We are live.
Some he
We
said
shouldn't
you
have
don't
said
agree
this
with.
stuff.
You can go
You
ahead
ain't
and
gotta
do
say it. It's just I've already talked about my picks.
Yeah, you have.
Stop
you
the
have,
video
you have.
then.
Now, obviously,
Stop
everyone's
it.
concerned
Yeah,
about the
Pat.
quarterback position. Mason Rudolph, is he the guy? Probably not. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be here? I would assume so. But they also added Will
Aaron
Howard.
Rodgers not coming
now,
to
before we
Pittsburgh, bro.
dive into some film on Will Howard and what he
not
adds to
happening.
the quarterback room, which, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, I really do love it. Before we do so, though, hit that like button. If we can get, like I said, over 500 likes on this video, we will drop a part 2 tomorrow or maybe in the next couple of days, breaking down the rest of the draft class. So let me know in the comments down below if you want another one, but most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It is free. It doesn't cost
Let
anything.
some more of the video
we
play
got
out.
you guys covered through all of not only
Make it big,
this
but we
draft
can see it.
process and every player that they added, but rookie minicamp in general, training camp, preseason. We got you guys covered with everything you need to know. Now, with that being said, let's take a look
So,
at this.
Ron, how
card.
do you feel
first
about
thing we
this
notice
while this
right
is
now,
going?
and quarterbacks, every
Breaking down
time,
Will
everyone
Howard
looks
now.
at
How do you
the
feel about
safeties,
Will
they
Howard
wanna know,
personally?
okay, is
For the
this a cover
Steelers.
2 man?
I
Is this
still
a
say
cover
they
3
should have
zone?
got
What
Shador.
kind of zone are they in?
Shador.
Right. So as
Why?
we drop back in the pocket, the
I
first thing he
think
looks
he
at
better,
is the safety.
accurate,
Okay.
wide,
Now we have a
everything.
yes/no read setting up. What is
Okay.
a yes/no read?
Will Howard won the
Typically,
championship,
a
though.
yes/no read is, let's say he loves this matchup to the top side.
Matt
of the screen.
Jones
A
won
yes/no read is
championship.
if we can get the safety in one direction.
Exactly, that's my
Well,
point.
no matter
I was
what,
hoping you say something like that. That's
our
my point
chances
exactly. I'm
of
trying to
getting
get
wide
through
receiver
his
is
head.
Okay.
So as
So
he's
just because you
looking
won
at
the championship don't mean nothing,
Well,
bro.
no,
Going to the
inside.
NFL.
You see how he's shifting inside?
I mean, it's good to put on your resume.
Shifts
Cool, but-
inside. Will Howard
Matt
throws
Jones
this
won
ball and
championship
says, "Yup,
with
I
Bama.
like my matchup." And look at the ball placement
What
of
did
this
he
thing.
do?
I mean,
No.
that couldn't be.
And
And
Mac-
Ohio, and Ohio State had both of them running backs, Krishan Jenkins and Stevenson.
Mac
They
Jones-
was loaded.
Mac Jones had his
I
chance.
couldn't ask for more out of a quarterback
did.
in terms of defense.
Those who prevail
in my opinion,
stand
Will
out
Howard is a
in the
beast,
NFL.
and the potential is unreal.
But you know the
So
real
one
reason
thing
why
I
they
like
won
to
the
say
championship,
about
right?
this year's
Because the
draft
two running
class
backs they
for
got drafted.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Jenkins and
value.
Stevenson.
Value.
They could not- literally could nobody stop them.
Third
Sub-
round. Value.
That's fine.
Jack Sawyer in the
This
fourth
is
round.
subjective.
Value.
Mac Jones had his chance in the NFL. He had a window of an opportunity to keep it, to be a starter, to do something with that team, and he didn't.
He's got a winning
But-
pedigree. Now, I will say when he's
What you're talking about is not outside of anything I said earlier.
He did win
And
10 games once.
They ain't one aspect of what you talking about that is outside of anything I said earlier. What I said was national championship quarterbacks usually end up being starters. That's all I said. And we going through this over and over again. We right back in the same place. I never said national championship quarterback is going to be a starter and they're going to take the team to the Super Bowl every time. Like a Joe
Yeah,
Oh,
we
Burrow.
didn't say nothing about Super Bowl.
We ain't say nothing about no-
I never said that.
I know I said none of us did.
That's what I'm saying. And I don't know why Ryan keeps bringing back up other national champion quarterbacks that didn't do as well. My point was they start in the NFL.
Now, in
Did
the
Mac Jones
video,
start?
part two that we
Yes or
broke
no?
down, I want to really
Right.
deep dive into
Did
Yaya
your
Black,
brother just
Jack
ask
Sawyer,
for-
Carson
Yes.
Bruner.
Did Mac Jones start?
Ain't gonna
If you
chance
guys
it.
want that
Okay,
video, I
so
need
I'm
you guys
gonna
to hit that
answer
like
the
button
question.
right now.
Go ahead, answer.
Subscribe to the channel
just
if you're
did. Now
new
what?
and join the family, guys.
Did he start, yes or no?
It doesn't cost anything. And
What?
man, I am really liking
Wait-
what the
wait
Steelers
till
have
I
done this
turn South
offseason.
Carolina.
The only thing
Yeah,
that they're
what?
missing right now.
You ain't gonna do jack.
Mason Rudolph-
Hey, you gonna run back to Georgia with your tail between your legs. Listen,
In my opinion, he's
Listen.
backup.
Did he win a champ? Did he start in the NFL?
For Aaron Rodgers, literally
Matt
for
Jones?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I think Aaron Rodgers
Okay.
will be the starting quarterback for this team.
won-
is that anything different than what I said?
He won
Run it
10
back.
games one time.
Yo, he talking about Aaron
I
Rodgers
think his
in.
first season.
See you guys in the
He
next
talking about Aaron Rodgers thing,
He
guys.
fell off after that. I don't
See
know
that,
what
peace.
happened.
Yeah. Did,
Y'all not listening.
is that anything different from what I said?
No.
Okay. Then
Go to the Dallas Cowboys now, bro.
I don't see
We ain't got to.
I don't see
You
the
don't want to?
We
issues.
ain't got to.
Oh,
Because I already know what's going to happen with that.
Asking the question that
I mean, that
Travis.
makes sense to play.
Yeah,
games.
exactly.
Okay, well, I mean.
Ron was saying, what'd you say, Ron?
I'm not gonna say.
No, Pops was. I couldn't
No,
hear you
Pop
'cause
wasn't
Pop-
doing anything. I ain't said a word.
I said your brother asked me a question just a minute ago, and I did answer.
Okay.
All right then.
What we talking about here?
What are we talking
He
about?
didn't answer. He answered the question you asked him a while ago. That's what he
Right.
said.
What question did you ask him? You don't even know that, do you?
Patrick, right there, y'all in the room.
Say what now?
Go ahead and bring Dallas's video up, bro.
Now, let's talk about Dallas, please.
You ain't talk about Alabama yet, Travis.
I'm gonna say mine for last.
That was y'all a lot of picks, remember?
Dallas Cowboys
That's why
win.
I'm saying mine. I only got 5.
You should go ahead and do the five.
Short and sweet.
That's why you should do
Bring
it.
Atlanta up, bro. Since he don't want to do his now. I don't know what's
Yeah. I
going
mean,
on.
you got 5. We got 10, man.
Yeah, I was trying to go ahead and get yours out the way, but I'll go.
Yeah,
no
Pop.
problem. Doesn't matter about to do it anyway. But Ryan, Will Howard gonna win a Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah. He's legit.
He's legit, man. He's the best quarterback coming out of this draft, bro.
Hey.
He won a championship. He's the best.
He gonna
Hey.
be up there with Patrick Mahomes.
Joe Burrow.
Guys, we gonna see who's the best. We'll see.
There's only been 3 quarterbacks in the league to win a Super Bowl the second year in the league, and there's only been 2 to go to the Super Bowl the rookie season. That was Colin Kaepernick and Joe Burrow, national championship quarterback.
I predict that Sanders would turn out being the best.
Joe Burrow,
quarterback.
that dude, though. That's
I agree.
the difference.
I agree,
He's that dude.
but nobody knew he was going to do that.
No, coming out, they was very high on Joe Burrow. He's
They
that
were
dude.
they were high on a lot of other national
They
championship
was talking
quarterbacks
about
too.
him winning a championship, him coming out.
Patrick,
They were high on a lot of other national championship college national champions too.
in college,
First guy up.
in college, you could see Joe Burrows was about that smoke in college.
Yeah, the other ones were too in college.
Joe,
You're not gonna win this argument
Let me
because
know
they
when-
said the same thing about most of these other
Let me know when you
quarterbacks.
actually got this up, man. You gotta let me
yeah,
know
me
something.
too.
That's what I'm saying. Like they said the same thing about these other quarterbacks.
Yeah, just put up the video, please.
I'll put the video when I get ready to put the video up.
Guess is telling you no. You need to put the video up, bro, so we can get through this.
Pops,
Sheesh.
get
Yo.
right trip.
We are live, bro.
I'm joking, man. Y'all getting too serious about
I'm not
stuff,
saying,
bro.
I'm just saying it's like it's killing time. I'm trying to get through this.
These guys gotta go.
Yeah.
Someone gotta go to work.
That
Man,
guy,
it's
nine
going. It
picks he
takes.
gotta get through.
It takes time to get these videos up, man.
You should have them up already. What you been
I
doing
gotta
already?
switch the videos, Ron. I can't have all. So I'm gonna play 3 videos at once.
Yeah.
About every 5 minutes, you say something that makes absolutely no freaking sense. You know that? Like, how about this? How about next time? I ain't gonna say that because he gonna think I'm not joking.
How about
Next
you
time,
put-
before you say something, think about it.
How about you put up
Run it through your head a couple of times. Say it to yourself, and then say, "Does that sound like it's gonna make?" Okay, and then say it.
How about you put up the video?
He said, "How about you put on the video?"
How about that?
Okay, man.
All right. I'm just saying, Ron. Like, it's the interviews are getting shorter and shorter. It's like every 5 minutes now. Usually, it's like once a podcast. But I love you, buddy.
All right,
You my boy.
first guy up is Jalen Walker, linebacker / defensive end. Can play any position, and he's gonna play linebacker for us. But he also said he's willing to play all types of positions, and I think he's gonna be dominant. One of the best top 5 pass rushers in this draft. We killed it with this pick. Falcons finna be a problem. We finna be a problem, and I can't wait. Finna be a problem, and that's Ron's boy also. So look at the smile on his face. That's his Georgia boy. Look at the smile on his face, Pep.
I see it.
Look at he's like, finally we got a Georgia boy. Finally, he been wanting this for the last 5 years.
What?
Next guy up, James Pierce Jr. Straight pass rusher. One of the fastest pass rushers in this entire draft. He's finna kill it. Gonna be dominant on the edge. Can do every move, spin move, bull rush. Hand placement is crazy. Speed, you're not outrunning him. So if you got a quarterback that can run, good luck. Because he can run down anybody. And that's Jalen Miro. You know he can run from Alabama. That's what he's known for. So you're not outrunning him. You know what I mean? Not happening. 2 steals. And we traded back in to get him at the end of the first round. So that first round pick that we gave up for next year to the Rams, doesn't matter because we got both our first round picks right now. Xavier Watts, one of the best safeties in football. Still, he fell late. We still end up getting him. To my hands, and that can hit. He's got like 11 or 12 picks in his career. Boy got hands. One of the best cover safeties out there. He gonna be on the other side of Jesse Bates. Good luck trying to throw on us. Good luck. Can tackle, can play the run. Can do it all around play. The next one coming up next, I believe, is Billy Bowman Jr., which is the Steve Smith of defense, as I call him. Because he plays ferocious like Steve Smith. Smaller, but dominant. Will knock you out your socks. Can catch. Can run. Can cover. Our secondary for to be crazy. He's probably going to play in our slot. He probably can play on the outside too. So he's probably going to be in the slot position. Where you going to throw the ball at, Pat? Just ask. Like, where you going to throw it to? AJ Terrell on one side, him in the slot. Xavier Watts at one safety. Jesse Bates at the other safety. Where you going to throw it to? It's finna be a problem, though.
It's a good question.
It's finna be a problem, I'm telling you.
I hope so.
Mike Hughes gonna be on the outside, I'm assuming, unless they put somebody else there.
Hope so for your sake, because you gave up first round picks. So
We didn't give a first round pick for him.
what I'm talking about, the one you were talking about earlier. You gave up first round pick.
Jack Nelson. This is a left tackle, a right tackle that's gonna end up stepping in for Caleb McGarry, and we probably let him walk. He's cross trained, so he can play across the line, left tackle or right tackle. So he's probably gonna step in next year and end up being a starter for us if we let Caleb walk. You know what I mean? Or right tackle. So he gonna be protecting Michael Penix's blind side. So, and that's the only one that won't be a starter this year, unless Caleb get hurt or something. But everybody that we drafted are starters, bro. Best draft Falcons they had in 20 years. Let's go Atlanta Falcons. Now on to America's team. Let's see what they did.
These are the new Terminators. You can go to sleep now, but when they go to playing, you will wake up.
Okay.
Because all these guys y'all talking about gonna get in and get the quarterback, these are the kind of guys y'all got to go up against to get to Dak Prescott. And Booker, he's been known to play people, and about mid game, they don't even want to play no more. That's been proven it through college. So, good luck. So I'm calling them the Terminators. Something we've been needing for a while to get back to that old swing.
And my favorite pick of our draft also, I should have asked you too, Pep, is Walker. Who's your favorite pick of your draft?
It's a tie between.
Give me your absolute favorite, like your favorite
Yeah.
pick, not tie favorite. You gotta pick one. While you're deciding,
Because I like the Harmon pick as much as I do the Howard pick. They're both even to me,
Say one on offense and one on defense. Then do it the other way. That way you don't have to.
which is basically the same thing.
Travis, same for you. What's your offense and defense?
well, we got moving our defense except for the offensive tackle at the very
I say,
last pick.
but what's your favorite on defense? Favorite on offense? That's
I
what I'm
just
asking.
told you we went all defense in the draft.
So that's
except for
why
our
I
right
said
tackle
defense.
at the
Okay,
last.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah. No. So who was your favorite pick in this draft?
my pick for
Before-
offense.
Before you started this.
My favorite pick on offense is Booker. That's Dak Prescott bodyguard.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you,
Speaking of
AJ, huh?
I said, speaking of that, yeah, you got 3 Tylers on your team.
Yeah, and he was rated as the best in the college at his
You
position.
got Tyler Guyton, you got Tyler Booker, you got Tyler Smith.
And the bottom line is this, guy. Don't forget about Notre Dame's center that we got. BB. Yeah, all I'm saying to you guys right now is, I am so proud of this team. Now,
Okay,
Booker.
break it down as it's going.
Booker is the guy that see they going with the halfback though. So let me put it this way: we got two running
Tyler
backs.
Booker. That's Tyler Booker.
We got 2 running backs that I'm proud of too. But who's my favorite? But I was trying to answer that. But Booker, I already said about Booker. That's what they saying first now. Booker will move. You know how Travis and all of them used to do is hit you and drive you on out of the field. All the guys we got on the line now, that's where they is. They run down the field pushing the guy. And I'm telling you guys, watch this team. All the ones that's been Dallas and this Dallas and that.
you gotta be quicker than that, Pops. Well,
No, stop this and let me do the way I want to do it.
I'm saying it's finna go to the next guy.
I'm going to only pick out certain ones anyway. Because I ain't going to go through detail like all these guys. Because everybody know who we got.
Okay, one thing I will say about Tyler Booker is, well, let me say this: Tyler Booker is arguably the best guard in football. He didn't allow sack. He's one of the most dominant guards in football. So
He is the dominator.
I do like that for y'all.
Listen, Booker is the best. They say he's the best at that position in college, and he's to be the best going into this game. The guy is 6'5", guys. And that's the thing that he ain't telling you. He's 6'5", over 300 and some pounds.
You're supposed to be breaking it
and
down.
Can move
It's your
and he
guy.
can move it. You know what it means, Chinese.
It's your guy. You supposed to be breaking it down anyway.
Anyway, but I can see why he would say Booker. Booker is that guy, and we needed that guy. So, and we do have 3 talents on that offensive line, and I'm telling you, I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of this guy because look how he's pushing. He ain't just blocking. That's why I'm telling y'all defense guy y'all talking about. Y'all gotta go against this guy. You're not gonna win this guy. Majority, you might every now and then get lucky. You're not
talking about us.
Yeah, you was talking about
We're
what?
gonna kill your offensive line.
So you gonna run over Booker?
We're gonna kill everybody on your offensive line. If y'all gotta go up against us.
I hear you talking.
You ain't stopping none of our pass rushes, bro.
But let's put it this way right here. Cowboys, they say it's the site of old Cowboy line. Say it seemed to be back. And y'all remember back in the day we had that line.
Okay.
Brandon used to talk about it all the time.
Donovan Ezraku,
And you talking about
One of the best.
a ball hogger.
one of the best pass rushers in this
You talking
draft.
about a ball hogger. He not only would he trace you down, he would put you down and take the ball from you.
And he's a 2nd-round pick. I'm trying to.
You ain't trying to hit me, but you want to talk? I don't mind you talking. Go ahead. Cause I ain't gonna go in detail like that.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that. Cause it's a bunch of them. I'm not trying to take the whole time doing
Well,
it.
talk about it, Dad. We're live.
Travis, I'm not doing it like that. Okay. I just want to let y'all know, as a conservative, as a group,
What's the point of doing this?
I'm telling you now, our defense.
I'm never doing this.
See, you gonna sit there while I'm talking. When you want to try to make me look bad? Is that your goal?
You doing that on your own?
I can't look bad with what's going on the screen. Now, I'm not talking about the people you want to talk about because I'm talking about them in a whole.
I was trying to talk about
Well, Dallas Cowboy was weak at.
the guys on the.
We couldn't stop a nosebleed. We couldn't stop the run, but we got 2 main guys in the center of that field now, and they ain't gonna be moved. We ain't gonna be moved.
Go look it up for yourself.
We ain't gonna be moved. And but what I want to get to is our running game, because all this right here, we done took care of that.
There's the first down snap for Childs.
But I'm telling you, all these guys that you looking at now, our defensive people, they got that Michael Parsons rip up. And now they're gonna release Michael Parsons, so he is gonna be a danger now.
McCarthy, clean in the pocket, firing end zone.
And the cornerbacks, all the guys right here, that guy right there, guys. They say Augustine's the best corner, but he got a little hurt and everything. But you let me do this way I want to do this.
You say that guy right there.
You know what? Go ahead. You do it. You do
know who it is.
Every time I'm talking, you repeating. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
They might not know who it is. That's why I said say his name, Bob, so they know who it is.
I want to talk about who I want to talk about on my team.
That ain't what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is what I'm talking about.
Second and goal from the 2. Bouncing Edwards trying to get him a touchdown. He's stopped by this East Carolina defense.
2nd and 10. Underneath the screen. East Carolina read it like a
And that cornerback, one of the best tacklers you're gonna ever see. One of the best tacklers you're gonna see. He don't miss a button. He just on point.
ECU.
And that's what I love. You put him with Trayvon and put him with number 26, guys.
In at quarterback.
I'm loving this team. I'm excited about them. And I ain't gonna be running and calling all them names back and forth like that because you gonna get to know their names. You gonna get called. Whatever I say is gonna be still some cowboy haters that gonna say, yeah, all right. That's why I'm not going through the change of all that. I'm not gonna waste time doing that. But I'm letting you see the play of them, and you know the name later. This is entirely different. And Mr. Blue, this is a guy somebody was talking about. Is Sprungly. This is a running back from Texas. I'm gonna tell you something. Every time he get the ball in his hand, it's a home run.
He fast though.
You have to stop. He's the fastest running back in the draft. So the bottom line is this: you're hot and catching, blocking. I'm telling you now, I don't know what it is, but Dallas went back and got everything that everybody was laughing about. That's I call him Mr. Blue. Every time he touches the ball, guys, and you're gonna have to get him. You're gonna have to game tackle him. You can't go and touch him and tag him.
Who said he had a fumbling problem?
We ain't got to go through all that here. But the bottom line is this: the main thing is this: I'm not doing all that. I'm not even trying to. I'm not gonna be hooked on that. But I want y'all to watch this guy and see. That's our lightning. Thunder is on the way. Now I'm trying to tell y'all something. Back in the day when we had them two big backs, we back, y'all. Now that's Blue. Y'all take a good look at this. Take a good look at it. And all that laughing and cutting up some of you was doing. Jerry Jones heard it. And this is a bad catching like this. Ain't no wide receiver. He said August Speed, he probably one of the better man's hand catching the pass that will be on the field. This guy right here can do it all. And you got to tackle him. You got to tackle this guy. And that offensive lineman, it's going to weigh you down.
I like Red on Blue.
Yeah, he ain't no joke. And fast. Once he get loose, he gone, guys. Now, this is what our linebackers. Now imagine this guy with Michael Parsons already, with power. I mean, I'm telling you guys now. That's why I was laughing at some of you while I go to all Cowboys. They're not gonna do this. Yeah, go ahead and keep talking about that. This boy right here, he gonna loosen up Michael Parsons. He the one's gonna let Michael Parsons do his thing because you ain't got nowhere to run now. We ain't got no holes no more. We got 3 main linebackers, and not to mention the Agent Zero. Travis, what do you think about Agent Zero? What do you think about Agent Zero? Is he Michael Parsons like?
No.
Agent Zero, who you talking about?
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. I'm having a brain fog. Who you talking about now? Because
Number one?
They call Agent Zero. You talking about what's his name?
But guys, anyway, the bottom line is this.
Overshawn?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Me and you talk about this all
I
the
had
time.
to think about it, Dad. I had a brain fart, bro.
There are so much talent gonna be on that field. And see, and our head coach say he want to fix it where it won't be no let off. When we replace somebody, that person coming in gonna be just as good. It's gonna be that way all the way through in the game. Nobody is weak. And I'm telling you something. The receivers that gonna be going up against us, you lucky. You lucky if that ball even get out of that quarterback's hand. And this right here is our nose man. Yeah, this guy right here, he ain't no joke. He ain't no joke. But we got two nose men gonna be in the center,
I think he's a guard.
and he can play both ways, in and out, interior and outerior. He can either play either one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's a guard though on
Yeah,
offense.
but he play on both. And I got a feeling but I know where they're gonna use him at. They're gonna use him right there in the guard, but right there in the center, sometime with the nose. But that's one of the guards. Yeah, he is. But
See, that's the quarterback they took before Shador right there, Cleveland. You know he's Samoan, Dylan Gabriel. His whole family's Samoan. I didn't know that until I saw it in the trailer.
Okay.
and I don't quite know the thing we got up here, so I'm just looking as we go. I got the old eyes, y'all. But look at this thing. And the guy I'm most proud of, they finna to show him a little bit. That's our big back. That's that Thunder. I'm proud of that guy.
No, he's undrafted.
Now here go our nose guy.
They're not gonna show him he's undrafted.
Well, they supposed to show it, but we ain't showing it. Now that's what we should have been showing. But this is our nose man.
This is your draft.
This is our nose man right here. And I can't pronounce his name too good. It's Jay Tortillos. Well, I can't say it. I ain't got damn. I already know his name. But he got one of them names.
Jay Toya.
Taroya, whatever.
Toya.
Yeah. Guys, they said that's what he does, sits there. He pushes the crowd and nobody been able to move this guy. So that run stopping, him and his buddy gonna stay right there and say, you see, that line ain't going nowhere.
See if they bring some pressure.
And he's mean, he's a dog. See, and he's a hog. He'll hit the ball, he just stays on you the whole time. And quick for his side.
Trying to make some magic.
Look at this. That's why we got these two main guys for the stop of the run. We got two of them right in the Simmons field now.
Which I think really helps out. Chance for two more plays potentially.
And he just look at that, running the quarterback down.
The 50 basically made out to say that.
And that's one of them Samoans guys. I love those guys. I love them. They just seem to be good players, pound for pound. They just good players.
They train year round.
Okay. And my son said he trained year round. All I know, them boys. I ain't seen a weak one yet.
That's why they be so good in the NFL. They train from the age of like 8 all the way up to.
I heard that. I didn't know if there was some truth in that or not, but that is true.
On the island, that's what they do.
Yeah, but Rock said that's what was the one on with that. Said they train year round. They don't have no let off.
Red zone stop on the other side of it against the Ducks offense.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all did draft.
We did draft. Yeah, I thought we drafted him.
I thought they said.
No, we drafted him with 5.
I get confused.
This is the Clemson running back. That Jerry Jones say he didn't try to worry about no backs. He said these two guys, they was watching the whole time. What are you doing?
They made out to say
Oh, I don't know where we at now.
Go ahead. To Phil Mafra.
I don't know where we at now. But guys, this is why Jerry Jones wasn't trying to get those backs up front. Cause this guy right here was picked to be number 1 back before he had a little shoulder injury.
Okay.
That's Phil Mafra. This was gonna be the number 1 back, guys, but he had a little shoulder injury, so he fell down. But as you can see,
He reminds me of ETN.
He's gonna be a problem, bro.
this is that Henry, that Jensen,
ETN.
and this gonna be a problem for you guys. These two guys fighting in the
Go on his
thunder,
running style.
This dude, 6'1", 234.
and I'm telling you now, guys, and fast, can run, can catch, can block.
Runs a 4.54.
I'm telling you
I'm
now.
talking about the way he runs.
Okay, they just talking over me, guys. So I might as well just stop talking. But this is the guy that Jerry Jones said he was looking for the whole time. Him in blue. He said he watched this guy in college in Clemson. And this is the Clemson running back. Most a lot of you guys probably know more about that guy than I do. Because I didn't step on the Clemson like I should have this year. But it takes everything to bring him down. You can't just tag him and knock him down. You got to game tough. And got one of them stiff heads like Henry got. He got one of the most awful stiff head you ever see.
What's his name? He's played with the Rams. Came to us.
Phil Mafra. Garrett.
The Dreads. That's what he runs like too.
And there go the other center man I was telling y'all about. Them two guys gonna be right there in the
Had
center.
bad knees. Had to end up retiring.
Gurley?
Girl.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of like that girl that used to run, yeah. But guys, look at this other center guy we got again. Look at that. Now imagine
with the sack.
both of these guys. Jay and this guy coming in the center, sitting in the center.
On the inside, that presses that inside.
I'm real pleased with these guys. I'm real pleased with them. I'm excited. Can't even hardly talk. I'm excited about this. Because what Cowboys been needing the whole time, Jerry Jones got off that old lazy horse and said, that's enough this talk. Jerry went all out there, but see that coach we got, Shouty, he had a lot to do with this, guys.
It's gonna be hard for him to make the team though, because he's a defensive tackle. Y'all loaded at defensive.
Jerry already said this guy got a spot.
And he's a 7th round.
He gonna ignore what I
It's
said.
gonna be hard for him to make the team.
But see, Cowboys, they rotate. That's what makes all these guys good for us. We got rid of 5 of our rotator guys. Now they replace it with somebody better.
Yeah, he's gonna be hard for him to make the team though.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Guys, the bottom line is this
Because y'all so loaded at
Oh,
defensive
my
tackle.
God. Now, he told me to talk to y'all about it. Now he's talking at
No, I'm just saying because y'all so loaded.
I
at defensive tackle.
no.
It's hard for him to make teams
He's
that
going to be
position.
playing Pacific place.
He might make the prep squad.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
Well, Jerry Jones looked at these two guys, and this is his words. There's a place for both of these guys. Because when one of our guys get tired of that defense, they're going to move him out and go rotate with the other. This guy will play. Jerry Jones loving it. And I'm telling y'all, this reason I was laughing and letting you guys talk a little while ago. This is not the same team. This is not your daddy's used to be team. This is the new brand. This is the Terminators. These Terminators coming, guys. And Dak Prescott, and they ain't even showing y'all a right receiver we got. Because it wasn't on here. And then they're in the process of talking to Maury Cooper right now.
So what do y'all think about our draft class? Sorry, Dad. Go ahead and get to this. So what do y'all think about our draft classes from what y'all have seen? And what do y'all think about your own? What do y'all think about Dallas's draft class? And what do y'all think about the Falcons and the Steelers draft class? Put it in the comment section. And how do y'all feel about your own draft class? Let us know. Yeah, I like Phil Malfoy for y'all though. I like that back. He's gonna be a beast. If he stay healthy, he's gonna be a problem.
Well, Jerry Jones built that offensive line. Like Brandon was talking about a little while ago, we went offensive line 3-peat. That's why. Because we gonna have some muscle back there running it. That's why we built that line back up. And nobody does it better than the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to putting offensive line and defensive people in place. No one does it better. But that line is back. I want y'all to see how that line gonna be this year. You know, last time we had Zeke Elliott, we was unstoppable. But we got lightning and thunder now. That's like...
I'm sorry, I got to read these comments. Brandon said, been proud, been cocky, been predicting Dallas first round. Crying, laughing face emoji. Then he says, nothing has happened yet. Already know what's going to happen.
Oh, yes, you do. Of course you do.
Hand over face.
You know, the
Then
thing
he says,
about...
why every time, or every year this happens? Why every year this keeps happening?
You're going to give me a chance to talk, you're going to keep reading that.
He gonna get through the comments first.
Yeah,
comment on
that's what I was trying to do. Months from now, it'll be excuses. Remember this day, come December and January.
Keep talking, you're making yourself look bad, bro. That's what you're doing right now.
This is Brandon, not me.
I know. I'm saying you're making yourself look real bad. He just saw what we saw on the screen.
And
you got to be looking at that with clown eyes.
Go ahead and finish the comments.
Is this
what comment, Dad? After the comments read,
it's not letting me pull it down. Hold on a second.
Well, go to the next one then. Go to the next one.
There it is.
Go with somebody else.
Who is ATV again?
I think that's Rod Acker, I believe.
Okay. Twilight Zone.
Go ahead, Patrick. Keep going. What are you doing?
Brandon Howard, I don't know. He's just saying dead. Now, Kevin says this. He says, Bill Belichick out here having a midlife crisis at the ripe old age of 73, getting it in. Hey, Pops, that reminds me of that Smokey Robinson and the Miracle song. You really got a hold on me. Yeah, that girl got a hold on him, all right. That's all I'm going to say.
She's like 21 years old, right?
But how you doing?
What in the world?
Got a hold on that wallet.
I don't know. That's weird, bro. He's 73, she's 21. That's crazy.
How you gonna tell a grown man not to talk about? They're crazy.
But my thing, too, is a lot of times, I'm not saying this is the case, but a lot of times you know, it's not uncommon for people with money to hire escorts and hire
Are we
people
talking about game now? Y'all talking about something?
hire people that'll date them.
Yeah, tell
And
them,
it-
Talking about Belichick, pops.
It could be one of those situations, man. I'll take care of you. I'll, you know, this and that. All you gotta do is hang out with me, do this,
And
do
it
that.
might be something else.
yeah, Pop.
Because they got things going on now that can make man feel like Superman. So be careful. You don't exactly know.
Let me ask y'all
You
something.
call them old, but you don't know what's going on right here.
Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think that girl be with Bill Belichick if he wasn't famous or a head coach or had money? Let's just be honest.
We don't know.
my
We don't know,
opinion-
Travis.
Stop.
There are some women that like older men.
Stop it.
My opinion, no. But
There are some women that
Stop.
love older men. Did anybody
Stop.
disagree with what I said? There are some women that love older
and
men.
Brandon said
21 and 73,
All right,
pops.
and Brandon said, back in the day when I was young,
That's
I'm
a
not a
senior
kid
citizen. That ain't just
anymore.
an older man. That's a
Sometimes
senior
I said,
citizen,
I wish I
bro.
was a kid again.
All I'm saying is this: a lot of
When
these,
I was just a little
a lot of these
gigolo.
older men can put these younger men to shine.
Right, why
You
you
can
laugh?
laugh if you want to, but this is the real world we're living in.
Dad's saying, I say that's not just the older man, pap. That's a senior citizen. 21 and 73.
He gets free coffees at the McDonald's.
Well,
Listen,
he
He
guys.
gets to watch the
listen.
movies like $5 a ticket, all that.
That messed up, Travis.
Kevin also says,
All I'm gonna say is you laugh at these older men if you want to. Some of you young men sitting there laughing, you'll be surprised.
Kevin says the
I'm
new
not surprised. I know the must be the money, like
All right.
Deion said. I ain't surprised at all.
But it should say might be the money.
No, must be the money.
but yet Deion wasn't cocky. Listen,
Bro, you
Kevin
know she was
Milwaukee
not attracted
says
to no Bill Belichick and
Yeah,
I'm 21 years old.
Deion
She didn't even know who Belichick
So
is.
somebody agreed that Deion wasn't cocky. Somebody said that Deion wasn't cocky.
Until they say, "Hey, come here. I got that money." That's how she know. Bill
so.
Belichick.
Kevin Walker says the new NFL schedules come out in 2 weeks. Watch and see how they lay out your December. If your December schedule is easy, that's a huge advantage for your team making the postseason.
Okay.
Brandon say, everybody say, I remember way back then. And then Brandon said glazing. Ooh. I wonder who that was.
Is he the
targeted.
only one that's talking?
Glazing the
Man?
Cowboys. That's what he said. Meant that for. He's saying Dad is glazing the Cowboys.
No, Dad is doing what you doing. I'm looking at my draft picks,
And then
and I'm proud of them.
Zay TV said, from a Clemson fan, good luck with that.
He said fumble machine.
Fumble machine.
Well, one thing about no, that's not even so. You talking about Blue or who you talking about?
He's talking about Phil Mafia.
Clemson is one of my teams too. I want to let you know that I used to keep up with these guys, but last year I didn't get a chance.
That's
to do
probably
it.
why he fell in the draft.
But I'm just going. No, it ain't. He fell in the crap because of his shoulder. Nothing to do with fumbles. Check me out and see. Whoever talking right now, they're talking crazy right now. The guy fell because of his shoulder. He had a shoulder injury. You say it had nothing to do with
He's a
fumbles.
Clemson fan.
No, I am too. Remember, I am too.
But you don't really watch Clemson.
Oh, there we go. Now you're going to shoot me down. What I'm
No.
saying, you're going to shoot me down what I'm saying.
That is-
Well, you just say you didn't keep up with him this year, though.
No.
Guys, the bottom line is this: you ain't gonna hear not one analyst say anything about Fields fumbling. You ain't hear not one of them say that. I heard somebody say something about Blues fumbling, and now everybody is saying silly.
But I gotta keep it
Four
real.
fumbles the whole season. Yeah, of course you.
No,
did.
I gotta keep it real and be honest. Though,
Go ahead and
Dad.
get y'all hate out.
No,
Go
no.
ahead.
You didn't watch one Clemson game, bro.
Yeah, I did.
Not one.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue about that. It ain't gonna use to do
It's just
that.
a fact.
You went with me well.
But
with the
anyway.
TV.
Moving on.
That's a fast thing to do to tell your daddy what he didn't do on live, and I know what I did.
Dad, you didn't.
Yeah, okay. But it's cool.
I love you, but you
See,
didn't.
this is what I got to put up with. They'll do anything to throw hate on Cowboys.
I'm just being honest.
Now, how do I know about all this stuff if I don't keep up with it?
No, about
Clemson is one of my teams, guys. All I said was I didn't get a chance to watch the games like I normally do this season because I was just busy.
You never watch the games, pops.
Okay.
Not no Clemson games, you know.
All right.
You can be a fan, but
Go
you
ahead,
don't watch the games.
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I am going ahead if you let me talk. Now, moving on. Ron, what'd you think about the draft picks?
What in the world?
What he seems. Just being honest, it's real.
Brandon.
What
You can't get
team?
mad at it because it's real.
Everybody's opinion varies.
Didn't I was the first one to admit I don't watch a lot of college ball, but I did watch from Colorado. Did I not say
Y'all
that?
know one thing,
But I'm not
I told
going to
him.
sit here and let Dad say he watched Clemson
Listen.
games when he didn't.
I'm gonna tell you something he didn't know. I told him about Phil Mafia. I told him, but he said, "Yeah, I
Right.
forgot about him."
Right.
I'm the one that
What
told
we gonna
Travis
do?
about this guy. He told, "Yeah, Dad, I forgot about him."
More of the
What are
same.
you talking about?
Phil Mountford, when I said that about him, you said, yeah, I forgot about him. That's what you said.
What were we talking
You
about?
said I didn't watch clips of, but I tell you about Phil Mountford. I said, this is guy I love Phil Mountford. You say, I forgot about him,
You didn't
Dad.
tell me about no Phil
Oh,
Mountford.
now you gonna act like you don't know it. Okay.
Dad, what did you tell me about
We
Phil
had
Mountford?
a discussion about the me and him, Dad.
Here we go.
He gonna be like, Trevor, that's why you repelled.
Dad, but you didn't tell me about Phil Mountford.
I did, guys. This is just a
He
fact.
got
This is true.
drafted. You asked me who he was.
I didn't ask you who he was. I
That's what
told you
I
who he
said.
was.
Hold on.
Yeah.
bro.
No. I'm not
Ron,
letting
man,
you
Ron,
get, I'm not letting him get away with that.
Hold on.
No, you don't hold on
You
to that,
asked
man.
me, and I said,
I'm not
do that
doing
the whole
that.
podcast.
I'm not
still
gonna
gonna
sit
let
there and let you
me
talk me
talk.
down to that.
bro.
And then
Anyway,
and
go
just
to
sit
the
there all
I'm trying to
innocent.
talk.
Like he ain't did nothing.
Hold on. Now, what I was saying was, when he asked me about who this guy was,
I
said,
didn't ask you who he was. I told you who he was.
I said I didn't even know who he was because he fell under the radar to me. I said I didn't see him when I was studying tape or all these other players. I didn't see him, so I was like, if I would have seen him, I would have put him up near the tops. I like this guy.
Guys, I showed him that running back. I said, this is
Dad,
my
you
fault.
showed me the running back when they said
And I say this to him. You said I didn't see this
when
guy.
y'all drafted him. That's when you said, who is this guy?
I did not.
By that, you saying you showed me by that?
Okay.
When they drafted him, I mean, what are we talking about here?
The main thing is this.
You didn't show me.
I know
nothing.
exactly who this guy was when I seen him, but I didn't get a chance to keep up with him.
All I'm
I've
saying
known
is
this
you
dude.
didn't show me nothing.
No, I
That's all I'm
didn't.
saying. Come on, bro. You act like you found him and say, "Look at this guy."
I did.
You did not.
Okay, Travis, you and I are not gonna do this live, okay?
Yes, we are.
First, I'm gonna tell you win. It's all yours.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
all I
it's all
wanted.
good.
Now, moving on. Patrick, anything else you want to say before we get ready to end this? Pops? No, I'm asking. Do y'all got anything you want to say?
You give me a chance. I was gonna say
Well, you might
something.
if you get off your phone.
It is
live, we can do
unfortunate.
this.
It is unfortunate. How Shedeur fell in the draft, but God is good, and at the end of the day, it seems like God took a situation that might have been negative for him and turned it around.
So at the end of the
For
day, what do you
some-
think
for
the main
something good.
reason was why he fell in the draft? Your opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Take the easy way out. Say I don't know, right?
I don't know, because there's so many, not so many, but there's a few different reasons people think.
No, I ain't
So,
talking about people. I'm talking about you. What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm
we
not
talking
even-
about you.
I'm not even gonna comment on it. I'm just saying I don't know. I think personally
Wow.
that it seems to me that because he's Deion's son, that may have had something to do with it. But all I can do is go off what people say, and if people say he didn't interview well, or if people say it's their perception, they got a right to have their perception. They got a right to say how they perceive this person and their attitude and the way they carry themselves, their demeanor. Doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's right. But that's what they say.
Hey, Brandon.
And do I necessarily agree with it? No, not necessarily.
Hey, Brandon. Yeah, we forgot to talk, but that guy went undrafted. They got Treshaun. What's his last name? Pops. You got it wrote down. From Oregon, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
He was one of my receivers I really like. Dallas got him after the draft, and they got a wide receiver from South Carolina too, also. But Treshaun, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Yeah, you know it all. Keep going.
You mad at me now? Okay.
Well,
I'm not mad.
And you
Every time I
kind
say something, you say I don't know what I'm talking about,
asking-
right?
yeah, it's a
Now
straight-
you're asking
it's
me.
a
No.
straight
and you
question.
kind of cut me off when I was talking. I wasn't finished yet.
And this
I know,
me
but
saying
I-
because you said
You
you
just
know it
started
all.
Brandon was asking
responding.
a
I know,
question.
but you could have waited. You could have waited.
But that's it. I ain't having a whole conversation. I'll just tell them who it was. You can go right back to that now.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of things. I think
Treshaun Holden, that's his name. Treshaun Holden, wide receiver from Oregon.
I think it's a combination
Couldn't think of his name.
of a couple of things.
But that's one of the best receivers in college, and I like.
Yeah. Whether we want to deny it or not, the conference that he was
You're
in
not saying
is
that. You just mumbling, bro.
the conference that he's in is seen as not as competitive. But you got to give the kid credit. He everywhere he's gone, he's been a winner. He's been a leader, and he's got support and good coaching and backing of one of the greatest, if not the greatest, cornerback to ever play the game, and has turned out to be a remarkable coach and a developer and a mentor of young men. So
He playing with the Browns, man.
my point in saying is, I think wherever he is, whether he stays with the Browns, whether he goes somewhere else, Shedeur's going to do great things. because of his pedigree and because of the type of young man he is and because of his upbringing. I don't think anything's going to stop that from happening. So that's my opinion on that. Other than that, I think everybody overall, all three teams anyway, I think we had good drafts overall. I think all three teams showed that they wanted to go out and fill spots where they felt like they had needs. So I'm satisfied with the draft.
Who next? Well, in our draft, the reason I love this draft because in the last 4 seasons, Cowboys been at the bottom. We ain't been able to pick nothing because we weren't in good position to do it. And then when we did do it, we probably most likely was getting what was left, it seemed like. But this is the first time in about 4 or 5 seasons that Cowboys had a chance to get in there with the best. And what I love, and for Sanders, you know what's the sad thing about Sanders? Nobody him thinking about. They cheated this young man out of all those $1 billion by him not going first or second. They cheated him out of all them billions of dollars, and nobody's talking about that. See, there's a lot of bad stuff happened when Sanders didn't treat that boy right. They took all that money from him, and they know they did it.
It's about $50 million.
And think about what I'm saying. None of you thought about that.
When he fell to the 5th, he lost a lot of money.
And a lot of you said, "Oh, he ain't good enough. He ain't good enough because they told you he wasn't good enough."
Not saying that he need the money.
Okay, cut me off.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying.
That was a good point. No, go
I
ahead.
was trying to talk with you. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Oh, you done pretty good.
No, go
But
ahead.
you were making a good point. You got to go ahead and finish that.
I was just finna say, not saying that he needs the money because he already rich. He don't really necessarily need it, but it's the principle of the
But he
thing.
deserve it.
He's supposed to go no later than 21. And that's like $50 million out of his pocket by him falling to the 5th round. That's all I'm saying.
And right now, when we start, notice how we all, they kind of got us all doing it too. Well, this guy's supposed to be 1 or 2 and no later than 3. But some of us don't already spell say, oh, well, no, I'm going to stick to my guns here because I know this as well as a lot of you know. This guy was number 1 quality, number 2 quality. All of a sudden he fell down, everybody saying it because he wasn't that good because he didn't get picked. All I'm telling y'all, and for the Cowboys, everybody looking at Cowboys always going to be the same thing. How in the world can you look at your teams and you say how good y'all done got and how good y'all talent is, but you look at Cowboys talent and you say, oh, they're going to do the same thing. That's hate, guys. That ain't nothing but, that's sort of like one of those people that you look at something and you say, I'm not going to say exactly what I see. I'm going to pretend it's something else. But one thing is a fact. Dak Prescott ain't had the toys to play with. Now, this year is a make it or break for Dak. I'll go out and let him say that. But you know what?
Wow.
Ain't no why. And I'm straight up. But they give him some toys to play with. Because y'all know how when Dak's healthy, it's 10, 11 games. It's 10, 11 games every time when Dak is healthy. But see, what's been going on with Dak? When they lock CD down, and our line ain't been as golden as it's been in the past. It's just ain't been that good. And our running game, there's no running game. Everybody that won the Super Bowl, what if they had a golden running game? They had 2 or 3 good wide receivers. They had 1 or 2 or 3 of the best defensive average, and 1 or 2 or 3 of the best offense. Dak didn't have none of that. And not to mention, we had to get rid of some coaches. We had to do that. So I'm telling you right now, my eyes don't fool me. You guys can sit there and do all the talking all you want, but I got good eyes when it comes to talent, and I think you do too. But you're going to keep saying it's the same old. You ain't no way you can see that and believe that. And then Brandon said a little earlier, I'll call you out and say, oh, they got 3 linemen going to repeat. No, we ain't did that in a while. Last time Dallas did that, they won the Super Bowl. Okay.
But another thing too, also, Brandon, I meant to say a while ago, it's rumored that Dallas is going to go back and get Amari Cooper too and bring him back. So you'll have CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, got Trayshawn Holden. You still got Ferguson at tight end.
And don't forget about Mango.
And Martavis Mingo also that they got from Carolina.
That's our 5th round pick, guys, that you didn't see us do 5th round. Mango ain't had a chance to play with Dak yet.
And like I said, they traded their 5th round last year.
Carolina Panthers.
From Carolina. But I will say I do like that Jimmy Horn Jr. went to Carolina Panthers. I do like that. Yeah. That's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, Carolina secretly had a really good draft, and I like their receiving core. Ron, you seen it when I sent it in the chat. Their receiving core looks pretty good. And they got Muhsin Muhammad's son. That's pretty cool too. I didn't even know he was coming out. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool.
They did basically what we did.
Xavier Legette. That receiving core looks pretty good.
It looked, like we always say, it looked good on paper.
Yeah, it looks good on paper.
Now,
So.
can they put it together? And
Yeah, we talking about Carolina. Yeah, I know. I think they can.
Carolina looks like they're going in a new direction.
They are going in a new direction. They are.
It's all about the quarterback play. The quarterback gotta get it together
Yeah.
now.
When you see a team, when you look at team, they start getting talent. Even though you don't like them, you can't sit there and say, "Oh no, that's same." No, you can't do that. When you see talent, talent is talent. That's where I'm at. Talent is talent.
and they got some talent.
Yes, sir.
I cannot hate on Carolina.
In y'all division this time, everybody I see in y'all division, they kind of stepped up.
And didn't they get Travis Etienne's brother too, the running back from Clemson?
And I know our division stepped up.
They might did or Tampa Bay, one of them.
I think it was Carolina that got him. I think.
But they got talent and Tampa Bay got talent.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, us, and Carolina did really good. Saints, by them taking Tyler Shaw, that was crazy.
Did okay.
They took Tyler Shaw instead of Shador. I don't think so.
Well, you talking about quarterback. I wasn't talking about quarterback.
That overall,
yeah.
They need a quarterback now, and they took Tyler Shaw. I think that was a mistake.
Here goes the thing I'm thinking about. Suppose the Giants had to pick Sanders. Do you realize all those quarterbacks would have been in that division? I'm telling you, that would have made a difference to the Giants. And they fell for that net. That would have made a difference for them.
But Ryan said something that was very telling. Giants ain't never drafted a black quarterback.
I didn't think about that.
There you go.
I didn't think about that.
I mean, they got Russell Wilson and they got Jameis Winston, but they brought them in. They didn't just.
I didn't think about that until you point that out.
A person of color at quarterback. They've never done that in their history. So that's telling.
That is telling. I ain't never thought about that, Ron.
Yeah, that was a great point, Ron.
The one that told me that.
Who?
Yeah. On my co-host on Talk Your Ears.
That's true though.
And
that's telling.
I was like, they ain't never draft a black.
And I never thought about it. I say, you know what? You're right. They never have. They bring them in, but for drafting,
right? Nah.
Guys, I'll go out on the limb and say this: all these teams that got all these new people in, this is a new trend coming in. I believe it. I believe all these teams gonna be a lot better. They got some of these people because these people coming in with a different attitude.
And Tyler Shaw is like the 9th, 10th best quarterback that came out this draft, and he went before Shador. Make that make sense?
So we can see a lot of good football.
Yeah, and I'll say this much. Pause. I'm gonna say pause. I was looking at Dak the other day throwing it and moving around. Guys, he looked like he did when he first came out to the NFL. He looked just like he did then. Dak looking good, guys. He done something different. He looked like he did when he first came out to the NFL, and I'm telling you, he looks good. He looks good. That's why I put pause in there for you people. They need to hear that. But everybody's saying this. Cam Newton said one of the best. He said it better than anybody. Cam just went on the limb and just said it. But I'm telling y'all, he looks good. I seen him throwing and moving around the other day.
The Giants drafted Tyrod Taylor in 2017.
Did they?
Yep.
Okay, that's the one that.
Yeah,
because I couldn't think. I could think, but they did.
They drafted Andre Woodson. They drafted Andre
Woodson. That was a
Woodson.
black quarterback. That was.
They drafted Andre.
And that's my fault, y'all.
They drafted Andre Woodson in 1999.
So when you said that, I just went blank.
Andre Woodson, who's
But I said, Knight ain't never.
Quarterback. I don't know.
I just couldn't remember that. Like you said, I said, is that so? But I guess it was.
Okay, I was wrong. I was going off Ron said. Ron, it's your fault.
No. Ron probably couldn't remember that either.
Ron gonna be like, nah, it's my homeboy's fault.
For this one, brother.
No. I understand what you did. Just go back and tell them that was one.
Yeah, that's cool though. So they did take
That's what it's saying.
2 black quarterbacks. That's cool.
Yeah, I would go back and tell him and be like, hey.
I couldn't remember it.
But
I couldn't remember it either.
I don't remember Andre Woodson, but
I don't
remember the name.
I can't even remember who that was,
See
Ron.
the face though.
I've been on with all of them. I can't even remember who that was, what he looked like.
I can't remember the face.
So that was a long time. I was around during that time. I can't remember him. I'm gonna look him up though.
And I knew you was gonna look it up.
Paul.
I wanted to know.
You was gonna look it up.
I wanted to know myself.
I hope you did.
No, what I was gonna say is,
What did it say?
if it was gonna say they didn't, then I was gonna be like, that's kind of messed up.
But what did it say?
I should know you was gonna look it up.
It was true.
Yes, they
Yeah.
drafted Tyrod Taylor in 2017.
I know Tyrone Taylor now. He that stuff he had that he was sort of stocky built, wasn't he?
No,
he
he
wasn't
was-
slim.
he was a thick
Oh,
wasn't skinny.
you remember Tyrod Taylor, the one that
Had the fro.
when he went to the doctor, they shot him with the needle and it hurt him and kept him out even longer. Remember?
His hip or something like that.
That went to the Chargers.
I remember Tyrone being stocky.
He was with the
Right
Bills.
around-
He started for the Bills a while after that.
Yeah.
With the fro.
I remember him being
He
skinny.
was never a big quarterback.
No, he was stocky.
He was-
I think.
no, he was
4'5"
thin.
I think he was like with the Chargers. He was
He-
been everywhere.
Bills,
Being
Chargers.
skinny. I don't remember being skinny.
Yeah, he ain't no big quarterback.
played-
I mean, he's stocky, but I don't mean big. I mean, he was solid. He wasn't skinny.
He wasn't the most accurate either, though. Like he had an arm
I don't
on him and he
remember
could
all
Oh,
run.
Tyrod Taylor was pretty good.
Yeah, I
So
thought
he was good.
I thought he had a good arm.
Pretty accurate too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the teams he was with, most of them.
Yeah.
When he was with, they didn't really have the best
All right, then.
teams when he was on them.
But everybody in the comments, like and share the show. Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Anything else y'all want to say before we end this?
Nah.
Pause.
I'm loving what my Cowboys did, and I see a different trend. I've been a Cowboy fan all my life. My daddy, granddaddy. I mean, we come from a family of Cowboys.
Why you looking like that, Ron?
I'm being honest with you. I come from a family of Cowboy lovers, and I'm being honest with you. I saw at the time when they played two quarterbacks at one time, and I just love my Cowboys. And there was a time we weren't winning at all, but I still loved them. So this is the first time I've seen it look like the old Emmitt Smith team in a long time. This is the first time. So guys, you're gonna see some good playing on that field this time. It's time for us to get back to,
Why do cats do that?
to the dogs they call
They
it.
want to make you get up, come all the way over there before you jump down. That's crazy.
So that's all I got to say about that. I love that. I love our draft picks.
He's sitting there looking at you like,
All together, it's 18 people.
You gonna have to get up, cuz.
It's 18 new faces that Dallas got coming in the camp now.
but I want to say this too before we end this. These are things we need to stop talking about and stop paying any attention. Kanye West, stop paying him any attention.
That's not
Don't-
Kanye.
Don't talk
That's
about
not.
him.
That's not Kanye.
The 100 mans versus one gorilla. Throw that out the window. It's ridiculous.
It's kind of ridiculous.
What else?
That's not Kanye, by the way, and that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Bill Belichick and Honey Boo Boo. Stop talking about them.
You gonna ignore me, ain't you? That's not Kanye. You know that.
Who else?
You still ain't gonna acknowledge what I'm saying.
Something else that people talking about right now. And I'm like, why are we talking about this?
Do you know back in the day?
Shannon Sharp.
Oh yeah, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
I think he done messed his own self up. That's on Shannon. And
Well-
I hope he's innocent because
Do y'all
allegedly
know?
what's out? I don't know, bro.
But Chad, what I gonna tell you,
Was it a-
Patrick? Do y'all know back in the day?
Because it's the assault thing, right? Is what's allegedly out, right?
Yo, him and that girl. Yeah.
Do y'all know
Talking about
back?
choking her and stuff.
Do y'all know
She
back
said
in the
That's
old
that's
days?
joking. I'm talking about
No,
like,
she said he assaulted her.
yeah, that's what I'm
Allegedly.
asking.
Back in the old days, do y'all know older men was marrying little young girls back in the old
All right,
days?
Ron.
Did y'all know
All
that?
right, Ron.
Did you know that?
What?
Older man was marrying little young
All
girls
right,
back in the day.
peace.
You know that, right?
That don't make it right.
Back then, there was a law they could.
Still don't make it right, Pop. If it's a law or not.
It wasn't getting.
It was
the
a law
back
that
then.
black folks couldn't eat in
That
white restaurants
ain't what
back
I'm
in the day.
saying.
That make it right.
Trav, that ain't what I was saying. At one time, there
Did you hear
was.
what he said? He said it was a law back in the day. When men-
They was older men was marrying younger
Yeah,
girls. There was a law.
So what is your point?
What I'm saying is, so when you start talking about these old people, that's just you can't say that.
Nah, bro, I can't say that. And yeah, that's creepy. 73-year-old, 21-year-old, you ain't got no business.
Hey, that's them, man. They're adults.
I mean, they are.
That's
I'm
them.
finna
I'm
say
saying-
that. You can suck it out of my mouth.
I mean,
A
what?
grown woman have every right to be with who
To
she
them,
wants.
to them, they're not weird.
That's still crazy though.
Man,
But anyway,
to you, it's crazy.
it's crazy.
To me, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I know it's they grown, they can do what they want. I
But-
get it, but bro, you look at that, you be like, that's crazy. That's all I can say. That's crazy, bro.
I'm not
what
saying.
they-
I'm
if
not
that's what
saying
they
I don't
want.
agree with you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but not saying we don't agree
Our
with it.
nieces is almost her age, bro.
Yeah.
Think about that.
But
That's
they're-
like one of them.
But they're not.
once they get to the age, which is a couple years, they Bill Belichick. Think about that.
It would be. I mean, it would be weird. I agree
How
with
do you
you.
feel about that? I'm just saying.
I would think it's weird too, but I can't. I mean,
I'm just saying. it's
what am I
crazy.
gonna do about it at that
I'm
point?
just saying when you put it in that perspective, I'm just saying it's crazy. That's all I'm saying.
But if from Bill Belichick's point of view, he hit the jackpot.
of course,
So,
of course.
I mean, again, disclaimer: it is weird.
Yeah.
So they know. Everybody
I'm
knows.
just saying, but those are things when you start talking about and 100 man versus the gorilla. Throw that out your spectrum, man. Because it ain't happening for
I got news for you. It ain't going up. You know it ain't going
That's
nowhere.
why. And somebody gonna make a competition.
It's wide open right now. It ain't going nowhere.
Somebody gonna make a competition where they make you sign a waiver and like, okay, let's make this happen for real. Put them in the arena.
Who's to say that's
Let
not
them
gonna
do it.
happen? Because the way people are now,
And I wonder who gonna actually sign up for that.
I wouldn't put them past it now.
You think 100 men will sign up for that?
Are you gonna make us say it?
No, I'm saying, do you think?
Are you
100
gonna
men
make us say who would do it?
That's what I'm saying. You think 100 men will
Are
actually sign
you
up for
gonna
that?
make us say who's gonna do it?
Yes. That's crazy.
I'm not even gonna say it.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Insane.
There's no need.
No, who's gonna sign up? Well,
Don't, Travis.
we know it's gonna be somebody that sign up for it for sure, and I'm sure it's a lot of people that would.
Good job. Good job.
That's all I'm saying.
Good job.
I had to think about it. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, I would be.
Oh,
Dude, we can take him. That's all I'm saying. Man. That's all I'm
Don't I
saying.
think I can take you.
Just go for his legs, man. We got this. We got this, bro.
All right. Y'all getting up in the
That's
run
what I
out.
see happening,
Let's
bro.
put a stop to this for y'all run out.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying how that gorilla.
Thank y'all for tuning
how they was
in, man.
spiraling out of the
The takedown
the
attempts,
takedown, and
man.
I'm thinking that's the first thing I'm trying to do is take his legs out, man. I'm like, bro, that's a mistake. That might gonna go up like this and hit him with both hands. That's gonna be a wrap. That's a mistake.
There are tales of African people doing things in Africa. I ain't never heard them all jumping up, ganging together.
Kevin said
and
it.
beating down on.
Put Kevin's comment on. He
No,
said
simple.
it.
He said it. That's good.
Yeah,
Because
I'm glad
that way
you
we
said
didn't
it.
have
I
to
tried.
say
I did good. You gotta give me
What did he
credit.
say? What did
Because I
he say?
usually would say it, but I'll let
What did he
Kevin
say?
say
What
it.
did he
Kevin said it'll be some dumb white frat boys named Chad, Brad, and Skylar who try to gorilla.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it because I ain't want to say it. I did good. You gotta give me
He read
credit.
between the
'Cause I
lines.
usually would say it, but I was like, this time I'm gonna give it grace. I ain't gonna say it.
We did good. You did really good. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. But I said it without saying it.
I said it without saying it, but you know,
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
you're right, Kevin.
Let's wrap this down. Let's wrap it up.
Chad,
Might be
Brad,
a bunch of
and Skylar.
emo dudes in there too that'll probably try it.
Maybe.
I hate to see the first 10 guys on the
don't
line
care
that
about
do
life.
that. The first 10 guys, I hate to see the first
Bro,
10.
well, we've already gone over it, but just to recap,
No, we don't-
the bite strength, the grip strength, and the pull strength alone. Denser bones, denser muscles.
And they're smart too.
They are smart, a lot smarter than what you give them credit for. And they're very agile. And they got 4 hands.
And the
Like
thing,
their feet, even though they can walk on them, they have disposable thumbs on their feet.
and the thing that
So it's like, even if you snug up on one while they were on their back, they could grab you with their feet and sling you 20
And
yards.
just try to punch a gorilla in the stomach and see what happens.
You gonna break your
That's what I'm
head.
saying.
I was
Like,
trying to say, don't get him early.
Sorry about that, Pops. Go ahead, Pops. Go ahead.
No, he just said
Yeah.
the body is like tar. It's like a piece of rubber. The whole body is. The whole body is like solid.
try not to laugh.
You can't when you hit them, you can't go in on the skin. It bounces off the skin. They are solid.
Wasn't
like
a good look,
rock.
Pops.
Yeah, they solid for
It wasn't a
sure.
good look. You said tar? You know, Pops, you know those the gorilla costumes that's got the abs on them? You know what I'm talking about? They didn't make those costumes like that for no reason. They got abs like that for real.
yeah.
They got no fat on them. They eat berries and leaves. And God made them to where genetically they some of the most muscular, strongest creatures on
You
the
don't want to
planet.
mess with them, man. They eat their own buki, man. You don't want to mess with them.
Oh, we running around now. Come on, y'all. Let's
just
do
saying.
this. I'm ready. Ready.
They'll take a fresh one and then eat it, bro. Who want to mess with something like that?
All right, guys. We're gonna get ready to call this down. Come on, guys. We get
I've
set up.
seen it.
Guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Without y'all, we don't have a podcast. Subscribe, like,
Share.
share the video,
And thank y'all for coming out.
tag some other people.
God bless you. Good night.
Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.